Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh! Yeah. There's something in there.
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't look. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. You just can't. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean you won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. No, just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach. Hug him up.
He's breathing.
Just reach. I think it's on the other side. Go.
I can't do it.
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah.
Hey, did you get the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, that's no worries. I got it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it.
Careful.
Oh God. No. Come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is... Oh.
Oh, what an awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your, nope, get after it, and that's your treat. Hey, do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a phenomenal day because we get to sit here and experience the grand finals of the CVAL NECC Spring 2025 Conference. My name is Sam Talks. Joining me none other than the phenomenal Paulsable themselves. And Paulsable, we have a matchup, a rematch of the century for our spectacles today. It is none other than Fisher College Navy going up against Winthrop University.
Yeah, Fisher got their revenge 2 weeks ago in the upper bracket final. For the couple of times this year Winthrop had already beaten them. Now we get to see if Winthrop can reflip the script and end up on top as they expected to be. But who's to say? I mean, last match was close all the way until it wasn't, Sam. So this is going to be a banger. We got a best of 5 as well. We're in it for the long haul here today.
Yes, sir. It makes things so much different when you have 5 maps ahead of you, and being able to manipulate the map pool is a game in and of itself when you are in the best of 3s, but best of 5s, right? You're only losing out on 2 maps. So the extra layer of knowledge that needs to come in and how you want to take on your opponent and which maps you want to do first to secure the easy 3-0 victory over your opponent. Big deal right now. But obviously, we're getting into the map pool in a little bit here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our rosters for this afternoon. Going to be starting off over on the Fisher Navy side. Hyun, Cuz, Sogo, Momiji, and Blast. Over there, Paul's I'll let you take care of Winthrop.
I mean, Winthrop, if you don't know this roster, you've been burying your head in a Valorant Tier 2 and Collegiate bubble, I guess. Infiltrator moves, Nazi, Flare, Ali. These guys have been working together all the time. Ali, technically the newest. I mean, not that new. He's been around for this whole scholastic year. And all these players have so many reps in Collegiate. Ali used to play on Northwood. Moves literally moved from Canada to compete with this roster a few years ago and decided to get his master's so that he could keep competing with Winthrop. These guys are super dedicated, and they've been absolutely working not only the collegiate scene, but all the way up to challengers as well.
Absolutely, right? Big brains on both sides of the aisle. And a reminder to everyone, right? This is the CVAL NECC conference. So the winner out of these 2 teams are going to be able to make their way into the official CVAL championship happening very soon, as a matter of fact. And then on top of that, right, we could be living in a world where Winthrop has to be invited their way into CVAL and Fisher College Navy.
I mean, let's be honest. Whoever's losing here today is probably going to be getting an invite. But you want to be the one who actually won the NECC conference, especially since this conference is rather competitive for a lot compared to a lot of the other partner conferences with how many teams can actually get invited and secure their spot. So you'd rather just book your ticket now and not have to worry about that.
You don't want to have to sweat the little details, the minor details, and you obviously want to go in there with that little extra leg up. Yeah, we won our conference, so what's it to you, right? Big deal here for both of our teams, like we said. So let's go ahead and take a look at our map pool to figure out what that best of 5 is going to be looking like today. It's no fracture, very sad. No split. The rest of them are going to be Haven, Lotus, Icebox, Pearl, and if we need to make it all the way out there, right? Ascent.
Oh man, the first time I don't hope that we go to 5 maps just because I don't want to end on Ascent. But no, we're going to get a good series. This is very similar to the pick and ban we saw last time when it was a best of 3. Winthrop still banning Split. Fracture being the first ban instead of the second ban, so a slight adjustment from Fisher. They're letting Lotus through for Winthrop. But no surprises, they're starting on Haven. That was the map in the best of 3 that was not close. It was our final, our decider, and Fisher absolutely ran away with it. Winthrop, honestly, looked a little bit lost for the entire first half of that map, and they tried to fight back when the sides swapped, and they got over to the attacking side, but it just did not work out at all for them. So Fisher, starting off where they will be most confident, certainly.
Yeah, it's very funny too, Paulsable, because I was actually out in Winthrop University when that CVAL matchup was happening. So yeah, that Haven map, you could feel the gloom and doom that was happening inside of that inside of their esports center. So yeah, this is a chance for them to be able to right the wrong starting off on the map of Haven. So let's go ahead, get into agent select. And I mean, last time we look around at these 2 teams, right, Fisher Navy went for the double duelist with Yoru and ISO. It's looking like so far, yeah, if it didn't work, or if it ain't broke, right, don't fix it.
And I mean, Winthrop deciding that their composition worked for them as well. I mean, this is what Winthrop generally runs on Haven. 1 loss, even a bad one, is not going to be enough to force Winthrop out of a pivot, or onto a pivot, rather. I'll leave this time on the Omen, though, which I do believe is an adjustment. I think the last time he played here, he was playing the Astra. This is what they played against Cubert Academy. That Haven also in a little awry earlier this week. It was at least closer. It was 14-12. They only barely lost it, but Haven's still a road for improvement for Winthrop.
And let's hope that their lessons learned when it comes to Winthrop, they can apply here against Fisher College Navy. Like you said, that small adaptation, take out the Astra, put in the Omen. Nothing against Astra. I think they're a phenomenal agent, but think about the ways that Omen is played on Haven, how pivotal being able to control high ground is to the layout of this map. Very big, very, very big deal as to what could happen later. But it's going to be Fisher College Navy starting off on the attack. Winthrop University giving us a look at their defense. Hopefully a little bit better, but all across the map, things are trying to poke and prod. Winthrop University wants to take that early control of garage space, takes out a trip, tries to draw some players back in a nice getaway vehicle here. Vector continues to push through out in mid, moves back in for a quick peek, but back away, let Fisher College Navy fall the flare.
Can already see adjustments from Winthrop. Nice from Nazi too. Here comes the flash. He's gonna be good for a second. No,
Whoa.
not quite. Sogo actually nailing that. Nicely done. The map control here is a little bit dicey for Fisher. It's gonna be pretty difficult for them to anticipate where this is coming from. So they pant back sight. They want to try and find Ollie, but this first contact so important. He gets the first. And gonna be able to just toy with Cuz too. It's all on Sogo's shoulders. The ace necessary.
Wait.
The ace nearly there.
Oh my
But
gosh.
not quite.
I mean, a round one ace would have been a great way to send a message to Winthrop that, you know what, we did it once, we're going to do it again here. But Ali holding on by that thread keeps the team's hopes alive. All right, Fish College Navy, you're on attack. You want to try and figure out where the weakest parts of this 3-site map is. I mean, we got a phenomenal performance there from Sogo. The completion of the ace almost happening. But the good news is, right, you are one away from the kill contract. That gives you massive legs to work towards the rest, especially when you look towards the Winthrop University bonus round if they can accomplish the anti-eco.
That'll be nice for the gun round for Fisher Navy, but for now, it is all in Winthrop's hands. 2 outlaws, not very surprising there. Infiltrator, yeah, we talked about it last time. Infiltrator loves getting a sniper rifle and going into sewer. This time, though, there is an adjustment. I like that this is utility lead for Winthrop when it comes to their A control. Now, they're going to have to give up B. This is pretty classic for, you know, Haven second round. Oof. What? Well-timed aftershock. I mean, the spike's planted, but Cuz already down.
Yeah, far too determined. But you're going to want that spike money. You know you're going to have difficulties anyway, so take as much money as you possibly can. Moves on the other side, waiting with the Stinger. Sogo, again, a sacrificial lamb to the Nazi Stinger. And another fight breaking out towards Garage that Moves is going to win. Blast just hanging on, waiting, seeing, maybe, all right, now it's time to poke out. Maybe we can get away with something over here. Nah, Blair's going to make sure to put that final nail in the coffin. Winthrop University flawlessly taking on the anti-eco.
Nicely done by Winthrop. But this is where the rubber will hit the road. Fisher Navy about to get actual guns. And now I'm curious to see what Fisher Navy wants to do about this A control. Because Winthrop have kind of showed their hand here with the utility lead, right? They're doing the guided salvos and the fault line a little bit later into the round. They're comfortable giving up a little bit of space A lobby, which is different from what they did last time, trying to front load it all, and then Fisher would wait it out.
All right. Bonus round now. Winthrop University. Close it up with that outlaw. We go back away. Here we go, Sogo. Like I said, here's the kill contract. You're going to pop it off. Grab Infiltrator inside of the gulag. Meanwhile, Cuz beating up play. Oh my gosh, I got a little close for comfort. Sogo crouching below the sheriff bullets from Infiltrator. Let's rid the pesky Yoru that's on this map. Now down 2 players, Winthrop University. Find a lot of difficulties on this A side. Brilliant fight back, but Cuz low on that HP. Ali, outlaw massive, and then make a second shot happen with a headshot. Take my breath away.
And Moobs is playing containment here. He's got a Stinger. That's a good range for it, but Blast, nice to the headshot. Ali's clean with this outlaw, though. He's going to pick himself up the rifle, too. Can he sneak through these smokes? He isolates it, but no, Momiji's ready for him. But a little bit more dicey than Fisher Navy were probably hoping for on their 3rd round.
Yeah, the world where had Moobs beaten Blast with a Stinger towards Sewer may have had that Winthrop bonus round. And two, you look at it right, you did manage to get Sogo's kill contract out early just to make sure they win that. It's that little extra insurance policy, but it still barely only covered the fact that 2 players made it through on the other side. There's still enough money, still enough cash, and Ollie's gonna bank on the Outlaw purchase here. Fortunately for Fish and Navy, most of them have the full shields.
Nazi's utility has really been annoying for Fisher Navy thus far, so they're going to try and sidestep it. They're going over to C with the Dimensional Drift. Oh, a flash there, not quite ideal. Cuz will get the 1, but Ollie trading back, not bad. It will still be the C-side going over, and Nazi's a little bit too far ahead, trying to find timing out the smoke. That was a problem we saw from Winthrop on their defense against Fisher last time, too, especially when it came to C. Winthrop players kept trying to find timings from this back site, out of smokes, and it never worked out, not once. So I don't hope they continue that pattern. Fisher winning the first real gun round, too. Winthrop, I believe they're going to be pretty hurting on the economy.
Oh yeah, that's not the tides that you want with a tied map that's 2-2. Defense not looking like Winthrop University's strong suit so far. Cobbling together some sheriffs, a Bucky from the Infiltrator, and Ali making that hero rifle purchase. For Fisher Navy, right? You got Cuz popping off with an Outlaw now because they know how broke the bank is for Winthrop University. An attack Outlaw 2 is a crazy decision to be made.
There you can see that delayed fault line coming in again. But Fisher Navy already have the read on it, so they're not really getting caught off by that at all. Player's just trying to make noise, hoping that he can bait like there's more players A long than anything else. And maybe Infiltrator can get something with this Bucky.
It's all big maybes right now. Maybe what could happen, yeah?
Flare getting caught should seal the deal, though. Now you know, hey, it was just Flare there, so they're going to clear this. Still gets 1.
Whoa,
2,
whoa, whoa,
excuse
whoa.
me, with the Bucky there.
Nazi.
So inconsistent of a gun, and now Nazi's picking him apart, Sam.
He has to get close to the wall, make sure to play off the flash. I don't know how much ammo they have inside of their sheriff either. Starting to run low on the bank. Right, two bullets, but that's where Ali comes to fill in the gaps. Upgraded the nice new weapons. Navy stuck in the corner. Once Nazi makes their swing, it's a home run. Winthrop University, a thrifty round. It looked like it shouldn't have happened, but it did.
Yeah, a very silly round for Winthrop to regain some momentum there. Fisher, I can't help but feel that they had the tools to clear that. But Quinn went all the way A long, and that's one of the things. When you run the ISO and the Yoru, it's a little bit harder to actually like slow clear stuff. You kind of have to just fight into it, right? And no, Sogo, I don't believe was there. I mean, he wasn't able to swing with the shield at the very least, so that Bucky becomes very lethal. There wasn't an owl drone to clear it, or a camera. That dry check is something that Fisher are going to have to keep in mind on future rounds.
The worst part, right? You use the wall, you're not even going up with it still. Infiltrator gets to hold this angle more practically free, try to pop off with a flash. They're still here, though. They're still not scaling up. They're dumping all this utility. Eventually, Infiltrator's going to be pushed back, but guess what? Flare going to take the first headshot onto Sogo, grab first blood, and Fisher Navy still stonewalled.
Nice bait and switch there between Flare and Infiltrator. Infiltrator taking tons of contact and TPing away right as the gate crashes up. The TP is seen and heard. So Fisher Navy think that's their time to strike, but Flare is waiting to get them. And now a nice jump peek, too. Infiltrator still with the flash. I mean, there's 3 players here. They have full util. You're just going to be annihilated.
Goodness gracious, right? You had no information how to get on site. Infiltrator plays the timing perfectly. Now to take care of the final piece, Momiji slot into the puzzle for a hopeful Winthrop University win. Momiji fighting back, though. He'd been the last one standing, but he's going to take a couple with him. Winthrop University moving further and further ahead.
Already Winthrop looking so much more composed than they were the last time they played Haven. Vincent and I said it on air or on cast. It sort of looked like Winthrop didn't know when they were going to be taking fights when they played defense last time on this map. This time around, that's not the case at all. They're always prepared. They've got util and guns at the ready wherever Fisher popped their head up. And often that util is flashes and stuns and all sorts of discombobulating nonsense that Fisher are struggling against.
It's much of a struggle this time. Winthrop University. Fisher Navy just can't figure out the ways to fight back against it. Another kill contract available, though I'm not imagining going to be using this. Ooh, Infiltrator gets ahead of the cage.
Nice.
This could be dicey prospects here. They're still going to have to walk past the tripwire setup. You can see Ali's toying with the idea of going even further, but playing it smart, playing it safe, knowing who they're going up against. Takes a couple of pot shots inside the smoke. No way they're gonna do a rolling thunder. Just go inside of there, but Momiji, even caught inside of a massive ultimate like that, still gonna go crazy with a Bucky.
Bro.
What's happening with this Bucky today? Plausible. How is this happening? It shouldn't be. But somehow Ali may have just grabbed defeat from the grabbed victory from the jaws of defeat. It's you. Mission Navy still looking good. Now inside of the kill contract, no one.
No, kill contract whiffed. That does get information. Fisher at least know that no one is going to be playing close enough to deny the spike plant. It's a little bit dicey. I mean, they have to know roughly where he is. Timing here, blast! Nicely done finding Infiltrator. And yeah, I don't think Ollie has enough health. Doesn't clear plat. That'll be that. But I mean, what an absurd round. I cannot fathom what the thought process for Winthrop there was with the Rolling Thunder. Hey guys, they're on an eco. Let's Rolling Thunder and run at them garage? Garage where it's close quarters and they're more likely to have close quarter guns? That is a bizarre bit of decision making from Winthrop University, who I think were looking to just try and smash Fisher, take over the game, and really crush their confidence. But now it's the exact opposite. Fisher are like, hey, if these guys are gonna run at us, we'll take advantage. We'll take all we can get.
Yeah, now it's both teams with a crazy thrifty round off the back of a Bucky double kill. So a quicker C long fight that, yeah, Moves is just gonna collapse to.
Oof.
Now you go in with the dimensional drift, try to get away. Ali staying inside of the smoke, and you can tell this dimensional drift is just trying to clear out all avenues and all angles of opportunity that Winthrop could have used. But so go. Inside of a smoke of their own, it's gonna get returned surprised by Nazi. Oh, now we're gonna back away.
Dimensional drift
to try and grab all of the information they can.
Dimensional drift is in here too, but the rest of Winthrop have to hold the line until Infiltrator can rejoin. And Infiltrator's immediately found. Flare, he's good for one, but there's too many around him. And you know what? I think Winthrop would have loved to have had that round, Sam.
Oh, what's that possible?
I think it's an ultimate, right? It's from the breach. It makes this giant AoE. I think it's called the Rolling Thunder.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, would have been pretty nice. Would have been great to pair with that dimensional drift. I mean, Winthrop had all the information they could ever get their hands on between the neural theft and the dimensional. Or actually, the neural theft was from the other direction, but still between the dimensional drift. But just no way to really make use of it without another powerful ult to combo. Now we're back to a thrifty. These teams cannot keep guns in their hands.
No, they can't. Guns, who needs them, right? We'll just use...
I mean, honestly, at this rate, yeah, with the amount of thrifties we've been seeing, maybe this is the most dangerous Winthrop round Winthrop's had yet.
Yeah, right. Rifles? Who needs them? Sheriffs? Buckies? Question mark? Yeah, that's all we need.
Moves with the sheriff is pretty nasty.
Yeah, there really is. And it looked like Moose was trying to make it happen again, cuz fancy footwork, though. Moose can't quite keep up with, but teleporting into the corner, cuz gotta watch out for someone who might be at that long. Wow, Ali! There's no way that should have happened, but it did. That's gonna be cursing that angle the rest of their life. Ali, a couple of TPs is gonna get them out of there, regroup with the rest of the squad.
Spike.
Mission Navy gets the spike planted, but it's not planted for where they quite want it to be. But this
Infiltrator's timing here is huge. Zogo's gonna overpeak for this.
No!
And that's Infiltrator getting a rifle, too. This is 2v2. Flare has a gun. Infiltrator has a gun. Flare also has the Armageddon, which can clear out a lot of these tough angles.
Yeah, Armageddon, right? I may not even need it, though. Momiji. Smoke goes down, caught unawares, and then you use the guided salvo. Hyun makes it a 1v1. Right, that Armageddon's still there! Woo! Flare had to stand their ground, hold this line. And Winthrop University, right? It's thrifty central for Haven, plausible.
A third of the rounds have been thrifties.
Good lord.
A third. And that's not in 3 of those rounds pretty much couldn't have been thrifties because it was a bonus anti-eco and the pistol. So really, half the rounds where we could be having guns have been thrifty so far. This is insane. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to a bit of normalcy here, I have to imagine. I believe Fisher should still have some semblance of economy. And Infiltrator now with the Operator. Now the question is, Infiltrator has been known to take this sewer. That's been his favorite position with it. And yeah, he's going to go right back to it. But the timing here is everything.
Timing. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know if they saw the foot. They have seen something here. But Momiji taking a little too long to adjust with the aim. There we go. That Bucky's not doing anything this time. It takes an outlaw to beat a Bucky, but hey, as long as it gets there, that's all that matters. Now we're down to the 3v2, but for Fisher Navy, right, you got to make sure you're not being flanked from behind. You're going to grab someone inside the kill contract. It's time for the 1v1. It's Ali against Sogo. The double tap may make things dicey for Ali, but who cares about a shield when you have the raw aim to back it up? A 1v2 well within the hands of Hyun's possibilities. Just has to make sure that they work. Blind the paranoia and just run him down. But don't give him the ones, don't give him the opportunities. And that's what Winthrop University is making sure of.
Love that round from Winthrop, from Ali specifically. Ali was the one getting pulled into the kill contract over and over and over again the last time these two teams were on Haven. This time around, just stands behind the shield. Realizes that the advantage of the ISO in the kill contract is that it's easier for the ISO to swing out because there's more angles, there's more shields, right? But if you just stand your ground, it turns into a straight up pretty much 50-50 of who can get there first. And even with the shield on Sogo, Ali makes it work and then has the paranoia to blind the Owl Drone, make sure there's no way to isolate that fight in the end. Huge round from Ali. Winthrop already with more rounds than they got the last time these two teams played on Haven, so that's got to feel good.
It's got to feel good. A great start. They just got to make sure they can finish the job. Ali's inside of the smoke. They pop out, right? Because the Hunter Fury is going to force their hands. But it's still back and forth. It's not quite over yet for Winthrop University. They've weathered one storm, but weapons are going to go in the hand of Fisher Navy. And Armageddon, again, to try and get them out more and more. This has kind of been even. Nasi's going crazy. Unbelievable 4K from them. Now another chance to make right the wrongs with a Rolling Thunder. Last round of this half.
Massive round from Nazi, who was really quick on the rotate too. I love how fast, how active Winthrop have been on this defense when it comes to anticipating Fisher. A timeout for the very last round of the half. Interesting. From Coach of Fisher, Kale the Land Shark. But I have to imagine this has to read into that C play. The rotates have just been so quick. You know that Infiltrator almost every round is going to be playing A, especially when he's got that op. That's just where he plays with the op. And they'll use some early utility to set him up. But often that just means that Flare and Nazi are leaving that much quicker. So C actually become, despite the fact that it's the site technically where the least people are at the start of the round, it's actually the strong site because it's going to be the fastest to get rotates. And I mean, with the gate crash, Infiltrator can be there in the blink of an eye.
Exactly. It's something that Fisher Navy's just been leaning into. Also, they set their sights on one, either C or A. They haven't pivoted away from it yet. They continue to push the envelope and try to win out these rounds rather than abusing the size of Haven that they can. But now with the timeout dissipating, a final round opportunity to make this a 7-5 half for Fisher Navy. Otherwise, right, Winthrop University gets to go on their attack for the attack-sided map of Haven. Possibility to really run away with map number 1.
And you can see the pings on the minimap. Fisher really want to try and leverage this A control. Early smoke getting rid of one player, but Infiltrator's still hanging on to Sewer, and he knows that nobody's up there. Cuz spots Flare, and that does force Flare away, so Infiltrator is pretty much all alone, but he wins the fight!
Not good!
Ooh.
Both of the Yoru struggling. Here it is, though, right? We're talking about the Rolling Thunder. This time, Nasi getting much more mileage out of a valuable ultimate like that. Brilliant paranoia, but blast! You walk right into them. Not a flash in the way that it works. Thankfully moves. It's a battle of the ciphers going crazy here. Almost stepped inside of the shadows, but now you're on the other side. You know where the players are. But that's a brilliant use of the Omen ultimate to try and throw them off their game. Regroup your cipher and go for the numbers advantage. Go for the 2v1.
Spike planted.
Blast has to be a hero here and doesn't know if they've regrouped and wrapped through short or not. He's always going to have his head on a swivel. He's picked the right angle, though. But now he has to push up into the smoke. This is where things become really difficult for Blast.
Wait, they have to look right. You can't go crazy with this. It's split seconds here of what could have happened. But
Great positioning, though, from Ali and from moves. I mean, especially with that smoke. You know for a fact you've cleared that corner. That's the one direction you're not worried about him walking from. So you set up with the spike at the edge of the smoke so that they still have to walk in to clear it, to make sure that no one's diffusing, but that Ali can hit that crouch angle. Moobs can stand up just to the side. There's no way you get spray transferred there. without an active divine intervention. Excellent round from Winthrop. Very chaotic, too. Moves getting up on the flank. That was the first time he'd done that this series, but he tried to do it a couple of times when these two teams played before and was always getting caught by a trap wire. This time around, seems like either that trap wire wasn't there or he broke it in the midst of what was admittedly a very chaotic round. A great defense from Winthrop. Night and day difference from the last time we saw these two teams here, and now it's up to Fisher to try and recreate that magic.
All right, Winthrop University on the attack now. Fisher Navy giving a wide dearth of players inside of this B site. Infiltrator's gonna TP onto B, but getting shocked by the guards flying in through mid, flying in through C link. Now it's just time to back away, and that's what Winthrop University is so good at, right? But they still left Nasi deposited behind. The numbers are going in all kinds of different directions, but when you're so low, you've got to be careful. Ali in a similar slight, but moves has weaseled their way all up through A. Seen at the last second by the cam. That's going to be rough.
The timing there is so critical. If Moves gets around that corner, I think he's 100% gets the favorable fight on Momiji, but now he has to hold just this tiny angle. And Evan is going to be so crucial. I don't think Ali is going to have enough smokes for Winthrop to play around, not anytime soon. He has to put one or defender spawn. Oh, and he's going to get spotted, annihilated here, and it's all on Moves.
Yeah. They heard the footsteps coming in through A main, right? Blast wants to go fast. Blast wants to start blasting. It doesn't even matter. Moves looked up to the skies above to make sure, thinking they had just enough cover to work with from the smoke, but it was not meant to be. Fisher Navy. It's the second pistol, the second half.
Nicely done by Fisher. I thought Winthrop had the read on B. They had a lot of really good spam. It seemed like they were anticipating a lot of players to come in for the flood retake, but Fisher were sort of able to just muscle their way on through. I think if Winthrop had actually committed to B and committed to helping Nazi fight, there's a world where Winthrop are able to win that, but it's a tough call to make in the moment, so I understand why they wanted to try and wrap around, especially considering that Moves had gotten so much presence A, and were it not for that excellent cam from Blast, a lot of things could have gone differently in that round for Winthrop, but they'll just have to bite the bullet.
Bite the bullet. Bite something anyways right now. Togo. Fast push out from Sewers. Reinforced with their Yoru as well. But Infiltrator's going to go ahead and get the spike down, not wasting any time. Look at how far forward Togo is. Moves is going to be caught completely. Oh, no. No, we're not doing it like this. And then they go crazier with the stinger. That's just full disastrous here for Winthrop University. Sogo is on a warpath, on a tear of a lifetime.
Wow.
And again, we're talking about an ISO that so quickly works up to that kill contract in just a couple rounds and a half.
And you know, last time for Fisher Navy, Cuz was the duelist. They love their double duelist comps. In last series, every single map, Cuz was coming to life. This time, Sogo is the one picking up a lot of the weight. I wouldn't call it a carry. The rest of Fisher very much getting involved in the action, but he has had some absolutely pivotal moments, especially in the early stages of these halves, to keep Fisher at least close to Winthrop. This bonus is going to be huge, though. How much damage can Fisher actually deal going into a very pivotal next round? Because they don't have a ton of time. If Winthrop gets this round, gets one more gun round following, then things get very out of hand.
And things are going to go start crazy. Cuz it's a TP all the way to the C side, right? So this A is going to take some time for the reinforcements to come through. It's just going to fall on Sogo, fall on Hyun, make sure that it's recovered. But with the way that Winthrop University is attacking the site, it's so long for them to do anything. And maybe even trying to play off some contacts from Moves, some players removed from the map. Winthrop University is just making sure that they win this with as many players as possible. That flashbang, though, working against it. Hyun held the angle, held the fire. The Ares beating down Nasi.
Can't die to the Ares, guys. That's the Ares, come on. I mean, this is just obnoxious if you're Winthrop. You want to try and leverage A? I mean, they had great control of A long, but they can never leverage that into an actual hit. They can't get set up because of the util spam, the Ares spam, more util, more Ares. Just annoying. So now it's a late pivot to B. A site where Fisher's guns will probably be the best.
And now you just rely on that. Moves Walked all the way in through the back. Ollie's getting rid of Cuz. It's light shining on top of Winthrop University's heads, and we're hearing the airy spam. But it's a 3v3.
Airy's gotta stop.
Yeah, right. We gotta put a pause on that one, please. Infiltrator holding this angle. Blast. Gotta be ready for the fight, right? May not even need to worry about it now. Infiltrator can take a wider stance, but backs away. Hyun's gonna take this space. A reminder, right? There's a player there. Now you need to get rid of the cam in through mid. Sogo. Double tap may be active, but it's just a stinger they have. That's not gonna be near good enough with a 3v1. I say that, right? But different things have happened here before. And with one shot, a second shot to land on the head, moves. Because Winthrop University decently through their bonus.
Nice work from Moobs at the very end there. The camera, first off, catching Sogo on the flank, so Hwin feels like he has to try and make some noise, make some distractions so that Sogo can get something, but he's never going to get anything with that camera, and Moobs doesn't even get caught off by the sound bait that Sogo tries to throw in at the very end there. But this is the pivotal round. Cuz with the op. Cuz plays very differently from Infiltrator when it comes to these opping Yorus. Cuz will be far more fluid around the map, changing up this position. It's something that Winthrop have to look for every round at the start before they do anything too insane.
Yeah, I'm liking this tempo change, right? You throw in, you dump all of the utility, you gain a long control, but that's where Winthrop starts to fall apart. They have a long, but they're just not going anywhere with it. And that's also something we saw from Fisher Navy on the other side as well. They gotta be careful. They don't know what Fisher Navy could be going crazy with, especially now that the operator posted at a main and a dicey angle too. Their university is waiting for any signs of aggression.
And look at the deep cam that Fisher have C long. That gets such early information. It allows Hwin to really not have to use the Owl Drone or the Recon Dart too early.
Big.
The kill contract whiffs too. Fisher, they're re-clearing for information, but Moobs has still gotten behind them. Nice shot from Cuz, though. Nazi stepping just a bit too far forward. Oh, Momiji. He just annihilates them. Fisher have completely split Winthrop from each other. And there's just no way you expect that many to be that far forward.
Wow. You would think that the tripwire, right, set up to make sure that you're safe, but instead it's all just a false sense of security and a false sense of confidence. A Momiji throws in your face. And then Fisher Navy just comes up into your backlines and you're all corralled like sheep. Completely unawares. Now it's just down to Moobs and a 1v4. And first opportunity is Sogo, but now that they've seen where they are, right, all of the players are going to come back over here, swing together, abuse the numbers. Moobs hanging on for dear life. Life is short and fleeting. Fisher Navy. It's the round they needed to win, and a round that's going to make Haven that much more impactful.
Very pivotal for Fisher Navy. And crucially, I don't think that Winthrop are 100% aware that Infiltrator was starting C with the operator as well. So now they're going to try and pivot that direction. But Infiltrator had such an early teleport over to A when the presence was shown there that they don't know that he was starting C. He is going to start A this time around, but I imagine it's going to be a pretty similar story. He's going to start A, but there's going to be such early contact here from Winthrop. He'll be there in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Again, we're talking about that deep cam, right? Blast is going to just hang off, wait for a moment here. That's got to be big.
Wow.
Sogo doesn't even care, right? You go toe-to-toe
Nice
with
movement.
Moobs, you got to make sure to have that movement on the back end of that. And Sogo's still all the way up here. The smoke's going to go down. Sogo's just unstoppable. They're a force to be reckoned with. And an uppercut to give him that little extra vulnerability, that little extra barrier of firepower to go along with it. Now you're facing the Demon Ali. Even at range, is still going to win that one and take two with them into the grave. Fisher Navy, though, has made it a one-round differential between these two teams.
Winthrop's defense today looked far and away improved from the last time these two teams played, but we didn't get to see much of their offense last time. I don't think Winthrop have the opportunity to make those same sort of adjustments. Like, they were very tangible adjustments on their defense because that's where they got shellacked in the first half last time these two teams played here. But on their attack, it's mostly flying blind on Fisher Navy's tendencies when it comes to how they will defend. You can tell that they were unprepared for such aggressive pushes. Even here in A, I don't think Moobs has the full read on what the commitment looks like. Infiltrator's going to get some information with the dimensional drift here, but I don't think it's going to be enough to break into C fully, at least not easily.
Michi, where'd they go? Wow, that's going to hurt. Thankfully, Blast gets rid of Infiltrator, tries to go back over to the other side. Nasi's going to meet them with a Phantom and Fury. North Theft is going to go down. Nasi, 33 HP, right? But that's playing it for long. Now they get to play back, and Moves is going to commit their own Neural Theft.
I think it's a great call. Now you know that you don't have to worry about the flank. Just fully focus on playing on the site. Nice flash to set up Moves for a trade, too. And with an op, this is going to be so difficult.
Wow, that's smart. Sogo may at least get this to the half. And they may just go ahead and stick it. They're sticking it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh my, Winthrop, another quarter of a second, and that would have been a very, very, honestly, embarrassing way to lose a round. Thankfully, Winthrop, with just the perfect timing, and that one way from Ali, does a phenomenal job of making Sogo's life just ever so difficult. Still dicey, still back and forth, though. Winthrop, not with a very comfortable lead, not with a very comfortable economy. We're watching that Rolling Thunder to see, okay, is it going to be ripped early? Are they going to save it for playing against a retake? And there's so much from Fisher Navy on the other side, too. So many ways to gather information.
This is going to hurt. Right, Shirley's in. That's good, though, right? That's good news. You know where Momiji is? But unfortunately, Hyun is just firing and spraying with the Owen through the wall.
The Judge Odin combo. My eyes.
Oh,
my eyes.
How you're just slow walking in and giving it away for free to let Momiji do that. And Moves is fighting a war on Seaside with 1 HP. You just gotta get out of there, right? That recon bolt's gonna see you. Now Momiji's looking in a different direction. Nasi.
Oh.
Hey, wait, get back over.
Huh?
Now it's down to the 1v1, but it's 10 HP plausible. There's no way Nasi wins this.
It's heard too. He's gonna plant B. He's not even trying to leave. I mean, fair enough. This is the site where you have to worry least about Odin spam, but just one bullet, that's all it takes. And he finds it. I mean, an excellent effort to try and recover that from Nazi, but just, I mean, how can you anticipate the Judge Odin combo in Garage? How do you plan for that?
You don't, right? And Fisher
Evidently,
Navy knew
you
that.
don't.
Yeah, Fisher Navy knew that. And that's also kind of some of the ideas that we're seeing, that Tejo falls a little bit to the wayside versus what Asova could have done there. The spider drone, stealth drone is nice and all, but you could have used the recon bolt. You could have had an opportunity with the owl drone to really make sure that you're clearing through there. And they even knew that Momiji was in it with a judge. That's kind of where the hard-headed nature of both of these collegiate teams just want to take these fights, and it just falls off so bad.
Flynn, you're hurting my eyes, man. This Odin is just disgusting, getting the spam damage, and now the Hunter's Fury. Oh, you're cooked, Flare. No chance for you. And even watching for moves here. Nicely done. I mean, it's an eco round for Winthrop, but Fisher are about to tie us up. Winthrop, they fought back pretty hard compared to the last time they were on Haven against Fisher, but it's not enough if you don't get the map win. That's the only score that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, now Sogo figures out where the last opponent from Winthrop University was hiding and sends them to the depths below. Fisher Navy. It was a 8-4 first half that they have tied neatly into a 10-10 bow.
This has to be the round for Winthrop too. Not just because their economy is still faltering, but because they have the Rolling Thunder and the Armageddon. If you can't win around with the Rolling Thunder and the Armageddon against pretty much nothing of like hard value, no impact alts from Fisher Navy, some great information gathering ones, but no impact alts, then Winthrop, there's not going to be much hope for the rest of this map. Oh, and look at this aggressive push. Thankfully moves proactive with the camera, but they're still going for this. Sogo, I mean, yeah, he's going to get turned into cheese there.
Do they realize how far they've gone? No, they don't. That Nick could be crazy too. Blast has another judge. Meanwhile, fights are all breaking out inside of mid. We're talking about the Rolling Thunder, right? Armageddon combo. Well, one of that.
Yeah.
It's just now an Armageddon for this round that you need to win through. 3v3. On top of that,
Winthrop at least have the right read here. They're waiting to see if anyone from Fisher hard clears for information out mid, but they have an inkling that A will be a more free site. I mean, if you go towards C, you're risking that judge having repositioned in so many different places. It becomes so difficult to clear just with the stealth drone like you were talking about. And I'm not even sure if Flare currently has it. Moves at least clearing the cubby and long, but it's still so tricky.
It really is. Yeah, blast. Let's clear out all of these angles with the judge. Hop inside of the
We're
spy
down to
cam
30
real quick.
seconds. Winthrop, you guys realize you're on
whoa,
attack,
whoa,
right?
whoa, whoa,
You
whoa.
gotta go. No shot. He gets out with the classic, man.
I can't believe this. He just dips out of the smoke for a second. The classic. Now they got to make their move, right? There's no chance. There's no way they have to do this other than by planting the spike on B. You got to make sure that you take your angles. You got to make sure that you take these corridors correctly. You've identified where Hyun is, but for poor Flare, they've also been identified. That recon bolt's going to give up so much of that information. Now in the back line, you've got to be careful of Blast 2. They've got a Vandal in hand. Switching away from the judge. Thankfully, Flare is going to take care of that piece of the puzzle. My God! That's the kind of action that we need from Winthrop University. Momiji, the last one left standing. Another smoke going down. And Ali, in the split second before it falls onto it, ends Momiji. Winthrop University back in the lead.
Winthrop, a lucky Ollie and Flare able to keep so calm and collected there. Flare was a hero for Winthrop in the last series on that very first map of Pearl. This time, it's not just Flare, it's Ali, who's absolutely fragging on this Omen right now. Still, both those ults available too. Winthrop's a chance to upset the very first map pick of Fisher. As long as this first engagement goes well. The vulnerable goes out. But I think overall, Winthrop have more of the ability to muscle through and fight for A. Yeah, you can see Sogo just trying to get out of there. Nice rolling thunder catches too. If the pace keeps up, this should be a win, but Cuz has repositioned.
I just can't really do much with that, right? Other than try to keep your squad mates safe. They do get out of there. Sogo holding on for dear life. Now you use the dimensional drift, go inside of there. Ali gets to hold this angle with nothing but a shorty. They've been like, you're abusing us with a shotgun. Let me use one right here. Oh my God! That was crazy flicks over onto the other side. Cuz barely any HP. That operator gonna have to go crazy. But Winthrop University is the team that is crazy with it. Momiji, the last one left standing. Winthrop University, once they get rid of this Omen, it is now time for match point.
Winthrop already starting to turn the tail away from what many would have called the upset last... I mean, if you didn't call it an upset, I think you'd be a little bit crazy. Winthrop, there was an opportunity there for them to win that round, but Cuz was so worried about the site, didn't go all the way with the dimensional drift to clear Ali out of that forward position. That shorty going undetected is the difference maker. If Cuz decides to play for the team's entry there, instead of trying to reposition and getting that pick from Hell, I think Fisher could have had another opportunity, but Cuz felt like he had to go for a hero play. Now the dimensional drift going the other direction, spotting him too, and Blast. Meanwhile, Fisher, they couldn't even really afford guns this time. Already so much info from Infiltrator.
Oh, and this gets even better for moves, right? But it's not working. It's not working. Nazi has to get the double kill just to make sure that this team survives. But now, all of the numbers are away from you. Here's the good news, though. You see that spike on C. Ali has their ultimate to be able to grab it and go to A. But already ahead of the game, Hyun is there. And if Ali falls, this round goes with it for Winthrop.
And Ollie's being heard right now. Wayne has the information. Spike is picked up, but Huyn's in such a brutal position. The timing between Ollie and moves has to be huge here. Huyn gets spotted.
No way!
Gets him! Now he can just stall. He doesn't even have to win this fight. There's the kill contract. Ollie is swept away. Oh, gets Sogo. There was no shield. Nice shot, but now there's just no chance. He gets put back and he's a sitting duck as Fisher attempt to send us to OT.
That's all on Huyn. That is everything on them, right? We had the bloodbath on C long that Winthrop University just couldn't win, even using the dimensional drift. But landing that headshot at the final second on moves and being a step ahead of the game, knowing that they're going to rotate to A, knowing they're going to step into the shadows, it all collapsed apart from there. Set up where they were on that angle to know where the Cypher was coming from. Next level read.
And Winthrop were a bit too eager on C, too. They tried to take advantage of all that info the Dimensional Drift got, but there weren't enough players. They weren't quite in tandem with each other. Oh, and don't do it again, Momiji. I beg of you not to get two with this judge. Just because I don't like the judge. I want to go to overtime too, buddy, but please.
And speaking of overtime, looking like that might be more and more in the cards. So go. getting first blood. Winthrop University, I wouldn't be shocked if they were scared of all close angles. Flare, undeterred by that fear, though. Oh no, it's a stealth drone.
Oh,
Well,
he's
you
done.
can just take the swing. Cooked. It's still something, though, right? You still got rid of one, but man, that's gonna be tough to fight. It's just put down the spike as fast as you can. Make sure you don't lose any more players than what you have
Winthrop's
to.
positioning feels more desperate, though. They're not quite all on the same page right now. Ali, at least getting rid of Blast. That gives them a chance. 2v3.
Last player standing.
I'm feeling overtime. Unless Nasi can go crazy. But the kind of
Five
crazy
health.
that we need in here is just going to be unbelievable. It's 5 HP. And Fisher Navy, thanks to Cuz, are bringing us into overtime on map number 1 of Haven Possible.
And not 2 days ago
Switching sides.
did Winthrop lose an overtime Haven game. That was in Challengers. It was 14-12 versus Qbert Academy. I believe that was the map. That was the third map, too. Yeah, that lost them the series. This time they're starting off on Haven, but their luck not ending much better. They'll go back to the defense. This was the side Winthrop improved on quite a bit today. And I think the more time this series goes on, or more time this overtime goes on, the more I favor Winthrop because they'll have a chance to adapt to some of the things Fisher have been doing. If Fisher get this very first attacking round, though, that's where things get out of hand.
It's a do or die moment for Fisher Navy. Put the pedal to the metal and get this Haven map done, dusted, and on the board for your own squad. Infiltrator flashed out by Cuz. And a fast swing lands the headshot. They're gone. This is already looking good for Fisher Navy, but you still got 4 more players to chew through. And a side that you need to decide where to hit. And going in through Garage, so go up through main. The decision has been made. Moves to be able to keep themselves safe. That recon ball, but now you fire in through the smoke. Just an idea, a presence in the back of your mind of where things are going. Smoke's gonna go down. Spike planted for Fisher Navy.
Spike planted.
Ozzy is not going to make the same mistake he made earlier. He's going to wait for Flare to be with him before he tries to peek out this smoke. Fault line getting used backside. Guided salvos going in, but all the util has been whiffing so far. That flash is pretty good, but the clone is better. TP doesn't catch him off guard.
Blast!
Oh, Blast! He swings out, and he finds him with util in hand.
Switching sides.
This is what we were talking about, right, Possible? The do or die, the put the pedal to the metal, and Fisher Navy accomplishing that first of 2 rounds. They're already halfway there. Just need to get the one more. And you've beaten Winthrop University yet again on Haven. This attack
Winthrop,
side is...
They're going for Ascendant C, dude. They're going straight into the C site, and it's going to be all on how Momiji and Blast react to this.
Right, Blast pushed away by the utility. And seen a straight up C-side hit since we had Dimensional Drift, but you just dump a little
And they
bit
call
here.
it off, too.
Yeah, you just wanted to
They
grab
just
the ult
wanted to
orb.
go for the orb, yeah.
Ooh. This could be everything right here. Moves, wins. Right, you've gotten rid of Cuz. Force back Sogo with the paranoia.
Nice paranoia.
They're going to make a lot of noise, too, getting out of there. The rotation is going to draw them back away from all these different angles. Winthrop University is masters at just playing it safe, playing it carefully inside of utility,
Ooh.
though. Another player can make the trade happen. Finally, Nasi's going to put that in. Winthrop University decisions need to be made if they actually want to fight this. Momiji plays with the paranoia, but weapon not in hand, not going to be able to do anything with that. Win. No Odin this time. God has been dethroned. Winthrop University, an attack that brings us into double overtime.
Really nice pacing there from Winthrop. I was concerned that they were just going to send it C, but they play much more strategical there. I loved using moves as sort of the fulcrum, the leverage point to get control of A. Once he wins that fight versus Cuz, it is excellent work to do the due diligence, to know that, yeah, Moobs has, managed to get that one fight, but someone could still have pushed up behind Moobs in sewer. The due diligence there with the paranoia, the stealth drone, forcing Sogo all the way back to wrap around. And yeah, he gets a really nice timing. But one was just not enough there. And Winthrop doing a phenomenal job. I mean, even just that wide swing from Flare, knowing that the Odin was a possibility. Excellently done. Now a timeout from Winthrop. They want to convert right here. They know if the second Winthrop win a defense round, they're going to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, this map of Haven has been just two teams headbutting each other, eyes locked, grappling for each and every single advantage they can possibly get. And the first time out from Winthrop University in the double overtime at the beginning of this. It's like you said, Paulsable, right? This needs to be won. They know if they can do it here, they can do it on the attack. An opportunity to cool down too, get the story straight, get the facts straight, get the plan straight. Both of these teams, it just needs to finish Haven.
Fisher, interesting. Sending Util up C to try and bait some of the rotates over, and I think it's succeeded. Nazi's pulled over there, the gate crash is in position, but Winthrop haven't completely bit into it. A very passive setup on A, playing the retake. Winthrop just hoping that moves with these trap wires is going to be able to deal some damage to Fisher and give them a favorable post plan. Give Winthrop a favorable retake, rather.
Yeah, look at this. Moves activated. First of the tripwire is taken care of. There's still a second one on site. Clone going to take care of that. Now they put down the cam to see where things are going. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, I mean, moves. You want to take a look at yourself, that's fine. But record pace here, I think, for the spike being planted on Haven. Now it's for the 5v5.
Will the stealth drone be used to clear out Win, too? He's in a really bold spot. Clone should be good for that. He does get forced all the way away and takes a tag from the salvo, too. This is getting dicey for Fisher.
Wow. Dicey for Fisher. Diced up by Winthrop University. That was a picture-perfect retake from this squad, from this team. Now all players all around. Nazi's just going to stick the defuse. All right, Ali pops in back and forth every now and again to make sure that Cuz stays where they are before finally making it a permanent residence. Winthrop University up the 1 in overtime.
Really great decision making from Winthrop there. They've been flailing a lot of the time with their C retakes, but they hadn't had a round where they just played hard C and then did an actual full 5v5 retake on A. So they change it up. They switch things up on Fisher, who weren't anticipating where the util would go. You know, you could see Quinn getting caught off by the combination of the flash and the guided salvo. It's just nowhere to stand if Winthrop is able to retake A with all 5 with their composition. Now it's Fisher's backs against the wall. Momiji should get the info off a jump peek here. He at least knows it's the drone. Yeah, and now he spotted a few.
You gotta be so careful. You're inside of the fault line. You're hearing out for the infiltrator. TP into the back lines. Blast playing inside of the cage. Momiji's gonna hold this down all by themselves. You didn't realize that once the Cypher cage falls, Cypher's gonna be inside of it. Nice little eggplant in there, but moves. Last one in garage, you see the stealth cam right over in that direction. Boy, plausible. I hope you're locked in because Haven, I think, is going to take the rest of the afternoon.
We're already on triple overtime. Let's keep it moving. Winthrop a bit too hasty in that round. We've been talking about that reposition that Cuz rather has been set up for all day. He's always ping-ponging and ready to go to the completely opposite side of the map, but that was the first round that Winthrop had really hard committed to see early, so they weren't aware just how fast those retakes would be there whether or not Fisher were actually set up for that. They know the comp is, of course, capable of it, but was that actually the positioning of Fisher? Now they know that will be the case, but they'll have to get another defensive round first. That's a nice start. Infiltrator. He's going for more here, too. The shield's busted, and so is Sogo.
So hungry for it. And they even get the reload off. Gate crash away. Winthrop University, they win that engagement. It's Nazis. Right, you sneeze on them, they're gone. But they're alive, and that's what matters. They still get advantage of that utility, and now Infiltrator's even going to go further. Momiji's in this corner. Such a quick flick. You got to get right back on top of it, inside of the dimensional drift, find where the final 2 players are, and just play off the back of that.
Well, Blast has been found. There goes Win, so yeah, the dimensional drift is just going to annoy Blast. He's going to come out and immediately go for the fight. Blast doing what he can to dodge and dip and dive, but it ain't enough. Flawless from Winthrop. I love the different looks on defense we've been getting from them. Going for the aggressive fight A lobby had been so long since that had been the case. Wow. Overtime timeout here as well from Fisher now. Landshark thinking he's gotten the read on this Winthrop attack. But, I mean, you have to imagine Winthrop are not just going to send it C again.
It just hasn't
Things are happening C. So they want something there.
And they probably want to make some noise. A couple of the players are still leaning possibly to go inside of mid, possibly again onto A. Maybe that's where they just want to end up. They want to try and sell the fake, go back to C. A lot of noise, right? And a lot of opportunities that Winthrop have tried to make C work, just hasn't. It's fizzled out multiple times. So I think
it's hard to sell that fake over toward A as well, just because you have to do so much clearing on A that just one player is enough. Like if there's one player tucked sewer, if there's one player tucked in long, that's enough information to know that it's not a real commitment to the A site. So it's hard to double back the other direction there. It's easier to fake C and try to go A, but even still, in OT, hard to do that. Just because you won't have any ults to really full sell that fake on C. So I think instead we're just going to get a default here from Winthrop. They want to know what the setup is. They're going to play a little bit more patient than they did on their last attacking round where they lost.
Yeah, again, right, tempo changes. They want to go fast in one round. They want to slow it down in the next. It's Blast Momiji combination on C that's going to help protect this. Cuz is going to go with the operator. There's no way Winthrop is ready for that, right? There's no way that Cuz gets 2!
Oh, and the
And
timing
now
here
you're
from
just going to
Sogo is
wipe back into
crucial.
Sogo's line, but that's perfect from Nasi. They know that this is what Fisher Navy likes to do. They know that they like to go from the flank, but they can expect the double flank.
Oh, and Momiji. Oh, surely he's... Actually, no, he'll get Infiltrator when Infiltrator moves off.
Oh, no way, no, oh my
No,
god.
you gotta use your ears, Infiltrator!
Oh my gosh, yeah, now this is down to Nasi. They're being swarmed all over. Mobiji's gonna put down their smoke too, make sure nothing's gonna happen there. Recon bolt's gonna go in. Nasi may be landing the headshots, but they can't get the important player who's defusing the spike. Quadruple overtime, everyone. It's map number 1, baby.
Guys, don't wear yourselves out. You guys got a best of 5 ahead of you. Quadruple OT map 1? I don't want to see fatigue setting in when we get halfway through map 2. Winthrop, Fisher. Somebody's got to find something here. Cuz loved the op so much on the defense, is going with it on the attack. The glass cannon operator attacking Yoru. I mean, Cuz's position was beautiful on the defense, but is he going to be able to make enough space on the attacking side? I think he might be reading that Infiltrator is going to try and match it, but that's not the case. Infiltrator gets walked up into lobby, has a rifle.
God, there's no way, right? Oh, you're playing off. Just timing inside of that corner. It's a pick for a pick, though, on both sides. Moves. Pushed in. Sogo gonna use the double tap. Uppercut over into the corner, but an off angle throws Sogo off where they could be. This is where that operator surprise is really going to raise the eyebrows of Winthrop.
Love this rotate from Infiltrator, though. He's going to be here in time. They're stomping around. He hears, hey, 3 long. That's all of them. I'm just going to make sure nobody comes around. Can even duck the recon dart.
And Wynn's really going to have to make sure they know where this is coming from. Keep an eye on side of sewers. Momiji goes for the plane of the spike, but that cost him their life. Now Wynn makes some noise going into sewers. And a brilliant piece of utility from Infiltrator makes a brilliant Winthrop University round theirs.
Brilliant utility, positioning, shots, timing. I mean, so unlucky there for Fisher that Momiji starts planting the spike the millisecond that he walks into Infiltrator's crosshair. If Momiji wasn't, like, just fully committed to planting the spike at that exact moment, maybe he can win that fight. Maybe they can dig themselves out of it. But Infiltrator with that quick rotate, recognizing that when his buddy went down, yeah, the wrap A was going to be the safest call for Fisher. Winthrop once again in the driver's seat. We need to see an attacking round win. Ollie, there's no way you expect that as Cuz. What a play to stop the op.
What a play to stop the op. What a play. Winthrop University to get things started off on the right foot. They still got to make the rest of the steps. First of many. Winthrop University stalled out by a couple of the smokes, some pieces of the util set across the map. Team's finally going to regroup. The default not quite going where they want it to. Fisher Navy not playing for their life too crazily. Sogo's going to keep going in and in. That's exactly how you fight back against a team like Winthrop. Meanwhile, this is going to be crazy here.
Oh,
if these
it's a
two players
bloodbath.
can get at least something off of this, going to be big to double tap everything that they need. Sogo tried to leave behind a wall to protect the retreat. not able to put it up fast enough. Nasi getting the spike planted. Moves ahead of the game. A 2v2 to determine the fate of Haven.
Paranoia here has to be crucial from Momiji. It has to get blast out because there's still util, still tons of it. I mean, the aftershock to buy time. There's still a flash. I think a fault line too. Beautiful flash. Now it's all on Momiji's shoulders. I don't even think he had the paranoia. He does his best to break that cross, but Nazi's lying in wait. Winthrop answer back. It takes five overtime? 4 overtimes.
4 overtimes.
But they get there eventually. They get revenge for Haven last time. And they deny losing 2 overtimes on Haven in the same week.
Right, Winthrop University, they needed this. They really needed this. I don't think they wanted it quite 17-15 for map number 1, but you're going to take the Haven W regardless here, Paulsable, and really good adaptations from this team to understand the strategies, understand how Fisher Navy likes to play, and you read it perfectly. The longer this goes on, the more likely that Winthrop will win this. And that pretty much happened from the first overtime, where Fisher was able to win that attack round of theirs, but then faltered as the rest of it happened, where Winthrop University was able to get back into the driver's seat. Fisher College Navy just could not respond.
And it's those tiny adjustments, those tactical adjustments rather than strategic ones, where Ali is able to TP up expecting the reposition from Infiltrator, right? Those tiny reads that get you advantages. That's what a Challengers team like Winthrop has to be so good at, Sam.
Absolutely. Speaking of stats, speaking of Ali, I think that we really need to highlight them. 30 in 19, a masterclass performance and a stark difference from the Astra that they played last time against Fisher College Navy.
Ali is such a menace, always has been in collegiate. I can't remember a time where Ali has been playing collegiate and not been on whatever team is at the top of collegiate Valorant. Whether it was Northwood or now with Winthrop, the dude is just always there. And he just makes plays the second you need him to. That's why I like seeing Ali on the Omen for this map. Don't get me wrong, his Astra is fantastic. But on a map like Haven, I think I want to see Ali with a little bit more agency, a little bit more individual playmaking potential, and it certainly was fruitful for Winthrop here.
It absolutely was. The rest of the squad, though, not falling too far behind. Fisher College Navy putting up, again, a Haven masterclass. This is from what the stats are showing us. Plausible, this has just been map number 1, right? We still have, at the very least, 2 more to play through. And it's still a total of 4 that we need to maybe even get all the way into.
This is where things can get a little bit dicey, though, because keep in mind, this was Fisher's map pick. This was their most confident map because they had won it so dominantly last time. But that's sort of what they did to Winthrop last time, too. I mean, last time, Fisher were the ones to pick Icebox, despite the fact that literally the day before they lost 13-2 to Winthrop on Icebox. So these teams, very comfortable adapting back and forth and taking each other's maps. We'll see if Fisher are able to do that. We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, map number 2.
Oh, what an awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your get after it, and that's your treat. Hey, do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to us. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah. There's something in there. Ah!
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. No, just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach. Hug him up.
He's breathing.
I think it's on the other side.
Go.
I can't.
Just-
I can't do it. Help!
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah.
Hey, did you get the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, that's no worries. I got it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it.
Careful!
Oh God. No. Come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand. Give me.
Ooh, man, that Haven map, right? We all needed a break after a 17-15 Winthrop University victory. You know, I got a little hungry afterwards, so I thought about one of our great sponsors, Winzel's Farm. Fuel your game with Winzel's Farm snack sticks. No mess, no distractions, just bold, protein-packed flavor to keep you locked in. Whether you're grinding ranked or leading the squad, Winzel's keeps you powered up. Grab a stick, stay in the game, crush the competition. Winzel's Farm. Fuel for gamers, flavor for champions.
Crushing the competition is what Winthrop is looking to do. Keep the momentum going into map number 2. We're off onto Lotus, I believe is our second map. And that's just got to feel great for Winthrop. This map was banned last time, first rotation. They didn't even get to play it against Fisher. But this is a map that they've looked rather confident on. Albeit, Winthrop have been trying to settle into a composition they really like. They've been changing it over the last, month and a half or so. But as of recently, they've settled on to basically almost the same comp that we actually saw on Haven, just instead of the Yoru, the Neon. So a very fast-paced composition. We'll see if that's going to be the name of the game here. They had good results earlier this week. Like you were saying in map 1, fixing what's broken doesn't make sense a lot of the time. So we'll see if Winthrop keep that. On the other side of things, Fisher a little bit more of an anomaly. They don't like to go to Lotus too much. So a lot of question marks for them coming into this.
Yeah, a lot of question marks. Last time we saw them, they had a Vice on there, right? Which is not unusual for Lotus. Looking at the Breach Tejo composition. So let's go ahead and get into Agent Select and see what exactly is going to be unveiled by both of our squads. If Winthrop's going to stick with what works, and if Fisher College Navy is going to mix things up. And already, that's a big mix-up here. A lot of it's still similar, but instead of the Rays, you're depositing in Cuz on the Neon.
Yeah, nearly mirror compositions here, just a difference of Breach versus Sova, and then a difference in flavor of Sentinels. I always like moves on the Cypher because he's such a prominent lurker, and I think on a 3-site map that gives moves a lot of opportunity, but Blast, those walls are going to be very controlling over on C as well. So let's head into map number 2. Let's see how Fisher can attempt to answer back. They're going to start off on the defense. But it looks like they're going to fight for mound control pretty early here. Wow, I mean, they just completely abandoned A and are going to try and take the fight straight to Winthrop.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, right? You see the A exec where all the utility is done, but this time it's gonna be B. The problem with that though, right, is such long sight lines that you really have to get into the face of the opponents as fast as you can and outpace them in all of the different angles. But Momiji in an awkward position is gonna be the first to fall, and it's back and forth affairs with Win being the last one standing. You know where they are too. So you just back away, you put down a smoke as the revolving door opens. Oh, and they even leave behind a parting present of 55 damage. You get the spike planted, and now you just play for the numbers advantage.
Spike planted.
Plant a bullet in his spine there. And I mean, with this amount of health, the stealth drone will just barely tag him too. Yeah. It just barely has enough to get around that corner from where Flare used it. And I mean, there's just no hope here. Winthrop looked completely ready to absorb the pressure from Fisher Navy. They thought they would catch him off guard. They thought they would have something over on Winthrop, at least get a player or two while Winthrop were fighting for A, but no, Winthrop were ready.
It's undeniable how Winthrop can play throughout on Lotus. And moments like that really puts it into perspective. You got to admire the idea from Fisher Navy, right? Like you said, to just want to fight for that mountain control. But again, that's where the issues is. You're being outpaced because you have dumped so much utility with how far back Winthrop can go. You just play from those angles, and then you force Fisher Navy. Really, the only one who can get up there fast like that is Cuz. They can't do a lot on their own. That's where A. That's why it works on A.
And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more mound control and mound congestion than A fights this map particularly, just because neither of these teams is running arrays, right? So the defending team, it becomes much harder to get rebel control because you don't have that paint shell that can just completely lock another team out. You have to rely on trying to cover your neon to get really far forward and then play off some crosses, and that becomes pretty difficult.
Now we got flavors of shotgun with Momiji holding close on stairs. Gonna back away, use the aftershock to try and get something going. But again, that Bucky may go crazy, but it's Winthrop University that goes even crazier. Infiltrator's Bulldog is biting, and it's biting hard. Now it's just two players left standing. Momiji's got to be sneaky with their shorty, and they're really trying to run it down to get rid of someone with that shorty. Play for the bottom, but Winthrop University to make sure that this anti-eco is done near flawlessly.
And I do want to say, while we're still early on Lotus here, Fisher Navy fans, I don't think should panic, even if Winthrop get to a pretty decent lead in this first half. Lotus, I mean, is a big map. We know, attacker sided, but more specifically, these comps very much lead toward the offense. I think it is way harder to defend with these compositions than it is to attack. The breach is going to set you up a lot. I mean, it's good on the defense, don't get me wrong. Like, this fault line is pretty nice, right? The guided salvos aren't bad, but look how quickly Winthrop are just past it anyways.
Wow, that recon bolt was everything for this squad. Momiji's gonna make sure that moves is contained, right? No more alert to worry about here. Ollie was looking in a different direction, but thankfully Infiltrators aim with the Guardian, next level. Winthrop University does get control of the A site. Player's gonna plant down the spike. Not a position where they can really play off easily, but safely. Now they go for the 3v3. Momiji inside of Breakable.
This was the gun round, though, for Fisher Navy, and things are rather dicey here. Blast has a good position. I mean, surely, yeah, it's going to be able to win that fight on Flare. Infiltrator now has to fight him, but it looks like Blast was completely unaware, and Win was trying to set up for Util instead of thinking about going near the site to assist clearing that out. Yeah, and I don't think those guided salvos are going to do much but buy you some time. Even getting into that angle is going to be so difficult, and time is whittling away. There's just no way for Win to win this.
Oh, that was really smart.
Hold on.
Where they place that special delivery. Yeah, a couple of shock darts, though.
Yeah.
Nice and simple for Nasi. By the way, give it up for this. Sova, the utility that they gain from recon bolts, that they gain from POW drones, is so... It gave Winthrop University everything that they needed, all of the tools that they needed to win, and some of the differences that we can see between the Breach and the Sova versus what we had on Haven into Lotus.
Very flexible, the Sova. Can give you what you need in a lot of different situations. And Winthrop, I mean, this should be an easy round as long as they don't run headlong into Bucky's. But look how easy it is. Again, I mean, they just know that their composition is going to be better at attacking A than Fisher is at defending it. I mean, Fisher have gambled properly. There's 4 here, a couple Buckies lying in wait too.
Especially when you consider the 47 thrifty rounds we had on Haven, right? I'm not going to count Fisher Navy out of anything just yet. All this utility, lack of information could make things a little smidge scary here if they choose to do something. Yeah, you just fall out the wall. That's actually going to keep them safe too. You've heard something inside of breakable. Make sure it's also stalling them out from pushing on the other side. Wow, Momiji, they're just crazy with that Bucky. Now they're on the back line. Blast using that sheriff. It's just trying to get as many as you possibly can off the board. That's a perfect way to go about doing it too. Winthrop University, yeah, may have lost their players, but they're just going all the way to C. Moves gonna try and meet some at Sand.
Not more thrifties, man. Not more thrifties to start these maps. We
can't do
it.
We can't do it anymore. Armageddon's up here. Moves is in such a powerful position. Although, you sure? No, they're gonna have to open the door, and that will give Flare his opportunity. Yeah, I don't think Fisher, even if they've upgraded their guns, which it looks like they have, I don't think they're gonna clear where Flare is right now.
And the best part about this too is Flare just plays off site. Right, they play for their life. They know this too. They have to hunt down the Tejo. There's no other option, no other choice. They're running out of time. A couple of pokes here and there. Flare's just gonna play off the utility, play off the Armageddon. They try to tap for anything. It's gonna throw them off. Already out of time, already out of hope to win this. Make sure that you get the weapons that you had and the ones that you picked up here, and go next.
Winthrop a little bit more dicey in that round, but I think they managed it well, considering that they ended up going to the full stack and their pivot away was being covered by the Bucky. It was a good idea from Infiltrator there to sort of just give his life for the ability to rotate. A great trade coming in from Nazi and Flare, who almost accidentally stacked up using the Owl drone and the stealth drone at the same time. But Nazi pulled away from it at just the right time, and you can tell the communication from Winthrop is really flowing right now if they're able to not accidentally stack those up in the heat of the moment.
All right, we're going to get flavors of Cuz Operator Neon. Doesn't even really matter, though. Oh, my God! Does Momiji have the spray transfer? Work around that. They even get back to Mound with their life intact and moves assassinated by Cuz's Operator? Wow, Winthrop University really caught off guard on this round. Fisher Navy finally gets their first on the board.
Momiji just completely bamboozling him there. I mean, that one-way smoke, creating so much opportunity for him. I thought there would be someone a little bit quicker, or maybe at least some utility, like a flash or something. Maybe there was underneath that one-way. I don't think that's a one-way that Momiji has been throwing a ton at the beginning of the round, so I think Winthrop just get caught off guard by it. A good way to finally get on the board for Fisher. A very inexpensive round for them, and they still have that op over toward A, which is a difference maker, because now Cuz, being on the Neon, can reposition so quickly. You don't have to fight for Rubble control, you just have to fight for making Rubble costly for Winthrop.
Exactly. All right, Cuz gonna pull open the doors yet again. I'm sure Winthrop had, oh my God. It couldn't have been more than a pixel that Cuz shot on the Infiltrator. But all that matters is that they did. All that matters is that there's no more Neon to contest against. That speed that was given towards them has been ripped off. Cuz missing a very vital shot there, though, that could have really made sure that Fisher Navy's victory of this round that much easier. Once we have moves sidestepping all of this Vice utility. Gonna get a spike planted here. Nazi's gonna be pushed off. Ali caught off guard with how far forward Blast pushed in. The Steel Garden to take away the primaries of Winthrop was almost in use. Now seen by the stealth drone, Cuz has to back away. That Operator needs to get some more value.
But I mean, Winthrop, they just don't have any good options here. The fact that they have to push into the op is so tough. Look how little map control they have. They're banking on this Armageddon to create opportunities for Nazi. But he's spotted red into Momiji's not letting it through.
And now unlimited power here from Cuz. Just run them down, send electricity coursing through their veins, and bring Fisher Navy back to life.
Really nice working of the map there. Sogo, who actually for one of the very few times isn't rocking a duelist here. It's a double initiator for Fisher, but he does a fantastic job. First up, helping Cuz get that initial pick. I mean, there was a ton of damage that was being spammed through, but then also the rotate over to B, that aftershock forcing Winthrop's hands, especially when Blast had the great timing. Fisher Navy are all over the map right now. It's hard for Winthrop to keep track of.
And Winthrop's, they had the ideas, they had the strategies. And now the most important part is they had the weapons. They don't have that so much anymore. Adaptations needed to come on the fly to try and get them through these rounds. They have some ultimates to work with, right? And it's not to discount that Infiltrator can still do something with the Neon ult of their own. With how confident Fisher Navy's feeling, right? You're just leaving Momiji by themselves on C-side. They did it once before, and it feels like they can do it again. And now Sogo is showing off with an operator pick of their own.
That's so cheeky. Tossing the op to the breach. An Infiltrator, I mean, this overdrive just expires and he's just open for Hail Marys through the smoke there. At least should be able to clear the corner, break the cross, and let his team in, but not by much.
Oh my gosh. I see barely skirts through the hailstorm of bullets. Exactly, right? All three players are here. Nasi may have the spike, but it's all down to an ace or nothing. A 1v2, near impossible odds, 8 HP. All they need to be done is sniped at from range with a shorty. Plausible. Fisher Navy has made this a 1 round away from a tie.
Just hear the comms in Fisher. He's won. He's literally won. He's literally won. Just spam him. Nicely done by Fisher. Another round where Winthrop, it just didn't look like they had any good opportunities on the map. Here they're going to try and, it looks like full send it toward A. Are they going to rip the Hunter's Fury immediately to try and get rid of the operator? No. It was a very straight ping, so I wasn't certain, but surely that can't be the play, right?
Really? Yeah, no. Doesn't look like it just yet. Let's out even further. My God, Moves is just being abused. They've been the first blood countless times in these rounds. It's just not working out well for them. Especially when you keep getting shot off by the operator time and time.
Yeah, Cuz's reposition is deadly, man.
And they're just giving it away.
The Neon gets around too quickly. Nasi eventually gets rid of it. Trades pretty decently. Keeps Winthrop with at least some hope for this round. But even still, I mean, where do you go? You just have to hope that you win fight off contact. But Sogo lying in wait with Util, even with the jump peek there. I mean, still has the fault line. That forces Nasi forward, and Momiji's waiting to catch him.
Poor Ali, right? They had a masterclass showing. They're gonna dip into the shadows, but the problem is they're paranoid, they're blinded. Momiji's waiting, and Momiji's been decisive on this Lotus map and is making it no different this time around. Momiji, Fisher Navy is 4-4.
Yeah, an insane couple of rounds here from Fisher Navy. I didn't expect them to be able to put up such a monstrous hold of the A site, but Cuz's operator has just been such a thorn in Winthrop's side. They cannot figure out where this guy is going to be holding every single round. I mean, who in their right mind on a Neon op is holding close B for the headshot angle? I mean, there's no way Moves can anticipate that's where Cuz is going to be playing. And before Winthrop's even able to leverage A, what do you know? The operator's in a new spot.
I'm
so
already
tricky.
fearing for Moves' life too, right? Look at everything that's going on here. At least it wasn't an operator this time, but it's still by the hands of Cuz. And I'm sure that Moves is grinding their teeth in anger. How much more can Momiji do by themselves? It was only so much. Now it's down to the 2v3. And you're already being swarmed on. And it's the it's the initiators. Hasi, though, has to be making these plays. They have to be aggressive to get the numbers even back out.
The op has been spotted and flushed away a little bit. Cuz and Sogo are isolated, but what a beautiful flash to set Cuz up. And Flare just doesn't have the health. I mean, even if Sogo doesn't hit that shot, the spam would have been enough to get rid of Flare. Fisher Navy, I mean, they make the early rounds so costly, and then they're in such sync for the end of the rounds. I mean, the fact that the stealth drone gives Cuz the opportunity to let Sogo play off the util and Cuz swing in. So well done. And they're just passing this op back and forth like it's hot potato, man.
There's got to be a certain point now, I think, for this squad for Winthrop University. All right. Map control of Lotus is so vital, but Moves has just not been able to do anything. They've been caught off every single time.
Well, that's one of the nice things about running the Vice instead of the Cypher, right? Cypher, you're essentially locked into playing Lurk because you just have to try and hold the map control. You have to set up your util to do so, though. You have to set up cameras, trap wires. Hope that you can spot something helpful. And I mean, with the camera getting destroyed so early into the round, that doesn't really give Winthrop any actionable intel. Cuz is going to be rotated over to C before Winthrop can do anything with that info.
This time around, though, right? Moves is still alive. Fisher Navy, though, look at all of these ultimates. You could play for Steel Garden. You could play for Armageddon, Rolling Thunder, into the shadows now. Look at how fast the squad has come back to the seaside, too. Everything is just all about slowing it down. I do not envy Ali, but they're alive. Nutsy's keeping them safe. Fisher Navy, Winthrop University's finally cracked the code, and the best way to do it is flawlessly.
Yeah, nuts stuff there from Winthrop. I mean, shout out to Ali with the absolute clutch paranoia over in toward Waterfall, stopping Cuz from getting set up just in the nick of time. Ali's then able to, like you said, stay alive. Nasi dodges out from the Armageddon. The direction on the Armageddon actually allows Nasi to dodge the first blast and then sort of just follow it back in, which Fisher didn't seem to be expecting. 5-5. Coming down to the end of our first half here. Oh, and a very different look from Winthrop. Getting rapid B control. Going for a quick paranoia. Almost catches Momiji too. The info's pretty good, but he's going to hop away. Get out of there.
Yeah, he's just gotta get out. He's gotta use that TP. And Moves finally. Ooh. This is what we needed to see. This is something that the squad can work with. Fortunately, though, Blast survives. They still have the Steel Garden, but Fisher Navy, two of their players, barely hanging on.
And that Armageddon is nightmarish for Fisher to try and retake into, even with this. Yeah, look, there's that Armageddon. Cuz has to try and outpace it. He does. Ali, temporarily abandoned. And Momiji finds the back of Infiltrator's head. Hang on, Winthrop. This isn't guaranteed yet, and in fact, it's guaranteed the other direction. Sogo with a beautiful timing there. Wow. And Fisher outpacing the Armageddon. That Armageddon, I think, was pretty ambitiously deep, all things considered. And because, considering it was so deep, I'm shocked that the other player that was playing all the way in, like, C Hall with Ali abandons him and tries to go back towards C. I think if Ali had had one more for the trade there, and you actually trade onto Cuz, that is a much more doable.
I think what really upset the tempo pacing was the Steel Garden. The investment of the ultimate from Blast made them nervous enough that even with the Armageddon popping off, it done enough damage. And I don't think they realized that in the nick of time that their whatever sidearm they had would have been good enough. Regardless,
trading 2 for 1 there is perfully fine, and even with sidearms, you should be able to do that.
Ooh,
I mean,
okay.
Speaking of trading 2 for 1, actually, that's 2 for 0. Moves just blocks them. Looking for more. Hello.
Not only that, yeah, but you've also kept them all here. You forced them all to come back, and that neural theft lets Winthrop University know exactly where they need to be playing and how they need to plant this out. Infiltrator, a backstab in the dark. Tries to slide in quick, but it is going to be Ali. Winthrop University to tie up the half.
Okay, I mean, that was a weird way to end the half, with Fisher just really committing on to moves for some reason. I mean, guys, I know he got 2. I know he's scary, but, like, did you need all 5 players to go over there and completely give up, eh? I guess they were expecting more of a heavy rotate once Moves got those picks, but Winthrop were good for that. A 6-6 half. Honestly, I think that's a win for Fisher, considering, again, the attack-sided nature of these compositions. Now, Infiltrator, well, not Infiltrator, sorry, Cuz and the rest of Fisher just have to prove that concept. And we are going to get a pretty heavy fight rubble to start this off.
There we go. The flavors of Lotus that we all know and love. Start dumping all of the util. Breakable using the guided salvos. Try to get there quick. They already know what's going to be happening. Infiltrator is sitting at 40 HP. Relay Bolt to try and stall them out for a little longer. Doesn't matter about headshots, though, as long as Cuz can do that. Player's going to fight back. Nasi!
Wow.
My Goodness gracious, destruction made incarnate for this pistol round. But with the bloodbath happening on A and the dust settling, and Sogo left alone in the 1v2, it's still so scary. Wow, and
I think Sogo got spotted on that timing too.
Just gotta back away.
Yeah, look, they're circling in. They're trying to catch Sogo, who is just looking to go see. But little does he know, Winthrop are hot on his tail.
Out of charges.
You gotta,
He wraps B. I don't know. Actually, will he get around this corner in time?
No, he won't.
No, he gets spotted. He's done.
Took a little too long. Didn't realize
Yeah, I mean,
how...
you have to clear it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just a nice timing there from Nazi to spot Sogo as he's leaving.
Good tidings here, though, right? For Winthrop University being able to win that pistol, where you were so dominant on the first half of the first half, at least, and then it just fell unraveled. This is what you need to get things back in working order. This is what you need to get your momentum going. Not only that, but winning out in one of the toughest forms of Lotus with all the util flying past you. Great way to set themselves up in the second half.
Fisher with immediate pivot here. Just buying a Bucky for their tip of the spear, cuz who's gonna, just fly all the way to small door. This is actually really tricky now. You have to rely, Winthrop, on the other players. There's not really much of a way for Flare and Ali to break this. I mean, here comes Infiltrator to try and do it. Nicely done as well. Good util.
Yikes. Okay, you're being slowed down by everything. It's Sogo at 19 HP. You're trying to draw as much blood as you can. Moves is crazy with that. Takes the first shot against Sogo. Flicks back over onto the head of Blast. Winthrop University. It's an anti-eco.
Love the timing there from Moobs, too. Waiting until the other three players from Winthrop had really made their full push through small door to show his head. He knows he's alone. He knows he has to go for a timing. Beautifully done by Moobs. And Winthrop are temporarily in the driver's seat for this second map. Keep in mind, folks, this is a best of 5. So even if Winthrop managed to walk away with their first map pick, there's still some more Valorant ahead of us. But you'd rather be up 2-0 than have to try and fight back for essentially another best of 3. And this is quite a potent bonus round, too, for Winthrop. I mean, rifle available. That Bucky that has just been nasty this series out of nowhere for everybody.
I'm unenvious for what Moose is about to have to try and deal with.
That's a cheeky place for the cyber cage, though.
Yeah, you're hitting the one-ways, and you're keeping yourself safe from the stealth drone, too. So you get on top of box, you don't get scanned out, they don't think you're here, you try to flick back over! You thought you got Cuz! You thought you did, too, because they were 1 HP! All these blinded inside of the smoke, you run and gun Cuz down, but... yeah, same can't be said for the rest of the squad. Winthrop University trying to make the bonus work. At least you're going to see Infiltrator pick up a nice new Vandal. And toe-to-toe, that's something that you can to make this bonus round a little bit more costly for Fisher Navy.
Yeah, some decent damage from Winthrop. The 1 HP Cuz survival is unfortunate, but even if Cuz dies there, I don't think it impacts the round too much. Fisher Navy, we're pretty comfortable just winning those gunfights all across the board. I mean, maybe Cuz doesn't swing all the way back C and get another one. He is honestly popping off. Like I said, last series between these two players, Cuz was the name of the game for Fisher Navy, so it's good to see him back in form after not quite as loud of a Haven as he maybe could have had.
Okay. Being pressured by all the util again. Ooh, gets a tripwire just in time, too, from the guided salvo. And they're being very careful about placing it down just yet. They really want to make sure that they can get the maximum value from it. The Ollie on top of Rubble.
For it too.
I think Fisher Navy's just playing for these defaults. Trying to get pickoffs across the map to really leverage some safety on their site take.
Oh, that's surprised he didn't see the trap wire. These one-ways from moves have been nightmarish for Fisher Navy to try and break. Player getting blast too. I mean, unless Momiji is able to pick up Ali here, we'll hear Ali going for the jump peek, but didn't quite get the reaction to pick his head. Oh. And in fact, he falls instead, so that forces Fisher Navy to commit C, and they don't know what they're running into.
Yeah, and the best part is, you still get to hold this angle. Nasi's going insane. Fisher Navy, you've left poor Sogo behind to try and run away again. This time, there is no sneak, and there is no cover of darkness to keep yourself safe. They run you down. And Winthrop University is just pulling in the numbers.
And that whole time, too, the trapwire that Moobs resets after saving it never gets spotted. So as far as Fisher are aware, their util did break the trapwire because Cuz went up and you said, hey, there's no trapwire here, but then he gets caught before he can get all the way in and actually see the new off-angle trip from Moobs. So that setup is still good for Moobs. He can still play close. He can still play with those same one-ways because Fisher don't know how to break it. Now, is he going to do that in this round where it's an eco? Probably not. He doesn't want to get swung by 4. He's going to play a little bit more further back, but still.
Yeah. Tolly, right? All eyes on him. Momiji, one deposited forward. Could have a Battle of the Omens once more. Looks like it's a possibility. Stealth drone going to be a little bit quieter on that end. Ollie's going to make sure that even if they are suppressed by the drone, they're still going to be able to do something with it, but they're alive. They're going to go over onto the high ground. The problem with that is Cuz outpacing them with the overdrive. Now it's time for to go crazy here. Instead, it's Flare to stand toe-to-toe against the overdriving Neon and hide out at box where Momiji thought they were going to be. Look behind you. You may have fallen to win, but the rest of Winthrop University is able to pick up the slack. Now into the double digits.
And such seamless comms from Winthrop in that round, you could tell. I mean, there was tons of chaos, but the comms were clear enough that Flare was aware Blast was coming in through B. So he doesn't get caught off guard by that, and even though he gets traded out, Infiltrator is there to clean that up. Winthrop doing an amazing job so far, and a great read in this round, too. They've got 4 ready to absorb this A-hit from Fisher. The battle for Rubble is finally here, Sam.
I'm ready for it again, right? We got flavors of it in the pistol round. Now we're getting flavors of it here in gun rounds. Across intersections, so much utility being dumped. Thorns, fast lanes, guided salvos. But everyone's still alive until Flare decides to make their move. Cuz has the trade. Mobiji's gone. So is Flare.
Smoke's gone
Big exchange smokes. But
Whoa!
Nazi!
Oh!
You are not real! Not of this world! Winthrop University striding ever confidently towards a Lotus win.
Absolutely nuts from Nazi there. And Fisher, just another round where they didn't seem quite as confident. They got Rebel control, but it cost them so much more utility than it cost Winthrop. You could even see Blast throwing in the Vice util all the way. And now Fisher, I mean, they're back to an eco here. They've got some good alts. Maybe if Cuz can go forward with the Bucky, you know, trade decently. Maybe you pick up some guns, swing the round back, but even with how many thrifties we've got in this series, you can't rely on something like that. Cuz in a good position at least. Oh, he's gonna try and get flashed even further towards small door. There's the Armageddon though. That'll clear things out, and this spike still can't be planted. It finally goes into the corner.
Oh, speaking of in the corner, it's Momiji with a judge. I don't even know. Ollie, yeah, they just TP over on the other side. You're not dealing with that. You're not worried about that here. What you are worried about though is Sogo. They are on track for an ace. Infiltrator saying, no thank you, brother. I ain't dealing with that. Not today. It's Winthrop University on to match point.
Winthrop are just overwhelming when they decide to go and fight for something. I love the way that they're setting up on this defense, giving a lot of space, letting Fisher come in so that they can essentially go for a very classic pincer movement. I mean, so nicely done. The flash is even tricky there from Fisher Navy. I mean, the breach flash and then a 1/10 of a second later, the vice flash at a different angle so that everybody should be blind. But even still, Winthrop are able to trade through that. And I mean, the overdrive is just so clutch in positions like that. Nasi, by the way, has just casually almost dropped 30.
Yeah.
On the Sova here. Dude's fragging.
Dude's fragging. He's going out of his mind. Those Infiltrator.
Oh my.
Concussed out of their mind and still winning.
Hello?
And Nasi's even
Momiji?
seen Momiji in the back lines. It's Sogo again. The breach extraordinaire. But a 1v3. You're gonna need to be extraordinary to win these engagements. It's an ace or nothing, a rolling thunder to send yourself out and to give Winthrop University onto championship map.
I'm not sure what the strategy for Fisher was in that round either. Mobiji TPing behind the defense with the spike. A bold strategy, I have to say so, from Fisher. And I feel like a lot of their more bold strategies just really didn't work, because despite the fact that he had individually a really good map, struggled to get that same sort of map control that you really need from your Neon. And that's one of the great things about Infiltrator and Infiltrator's style as a duelist too, right? He's not, we talked about it the last time these two teams faced off. He might not be quite as high up on the kill, like on the scoreboard. He might not be as prominent in the kill feed, but the dude makes space like nobody's business, and when he needs to frag, he pops up.
Yeah, they do. And the stats aren't gonna lie about what just happened on Lotus.
Dude, Nazi, man.
Nazi.
Guy's just absolutely insane. Much like Moobs moved over from another, or much like actually Moobs and Ali moved over from another very prominent team once upon a time. You know, this was almost 2 years ago now, but he used to be on SJSU. They were so good. This dude has been in collegiate as long as I have been casting it, and that's saying something. He's absolutely nasty with it. I mean, and a lot of what you won't see here is how Infiltrator and Flare really set Nazi up for quite a few of these kills. It's Infiltrator breaking those crosshairs and still looking pretty good, by the way, with a 17 and 12. And then Nazi has all the space he could ever want to work with.
It's also kind of crazy too, right? That you're walking away with 4 first bloods as a Sova. Yeah,
it's nuts.
It's nasty with it. And that's the kind of performance that we expect from Winthrop University, Fisher College Navy, and let's give it up to them, right? It was a 4-round deficit that they had at the beginning of Lotus. They brought it back. They gave us a 6-6 half, but it's just their attack. They could not break Winthrop University. This is a team that was stalwart on their defense. It was stalwart on all flavors of how to keep Fisher College Navy at bay.
But I think Fisher, I mean, backs are against the wall now, literally, and you have to assume mentally, too. It's 2-0 for Winthrop. Fisher, yes, we're going to go to Icebox. This was the other map that they won in their first series. They're trying to keep it simple, right? Hey, we won these 2 maps. We're going to pick these 2 maps first. But we already saw on Haven that Winthrop were ready for those adjustments. And last time we saw Icebox, it was a pure fragging fest between these two teams. It was who was hotter on the day, and it just narrowly worked out to be Fisher that time. It was a 13-11 last time. We'll see. Winthrop, can they finish it up? Give us an early, clean 3-0, or will Fisher start to fight back when we come back from this break?
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No. Come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
Oh, what an awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your nope. Get after it, and that's your treat. Hey, do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
Hell with that.
Oh, yeah. There's something in there.
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. His daddy ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of it.
Winthrop University has found themselves on championship point, but for Fisher Navy, still an opportunity to begin the reverse sweep in this best of 5. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Sam Tonks. Joining me yet again is none other than Paulsable. Paulsable, it's been 2 maps down. Winthrop University needs only 1 more to go. Icebox, right? It's feeling a little chilly for them.
It's a little bit chilly. This is what Fisher's hoping for, at least. They're hoping to put a cooler on the heat that Winthrop have been showing us thus far. I mean, the guys have just been nasty with it. Reminder, folks, this is what the layout of our best of 5 looks like. Already, Winthrop has taken control of the series. They've got Haven, they got Lotus. We need that reverse sweep if Fisher want to be the ones to book their ticket to the CVAL College Championship right here, right now. It's got to start on Icebox. This was a map they won last time, but it was narrow. It was 13-11. And honestly, a couple of those rounds looked more like Winthrop making mistakes than anything else. There were a couple of rounds, I think, especially on Winthrop's defense, which they're going to be starting off on here as well, that Winthrop looked a little bit too eager to fight for me. They didn't quite set up Infiltrator and Moobs, who actually usually plays the Reyna for them here, as best they could. So will Winthrop fall into those same sort of habits? Or, much like Haven, have they made those necessary adjustments?
That's the question marks, right? And that's what we've been getting out of Winthrop today, though. A team that looks poised, primed, and ready to go to take their victory. They've learned their lessons. They've went to the drawing board. They know what needs to be done. But the most important part is they've been doing it, right? Haven was the big map on our mind on if this squad is going to be in fighting form today. And sure, right, it took us a quintuple overtime or whatever it was.
Took a minute.
Yeah, to get there, but they got there. Lotus, a decisive victory for them on their map pick. And Icebox, now for Fisher College Navy, needs to be the one that they win. It's a reverse sweep or nothing for this team. Otherwise, Winthrop University is going to be smiling from ear to ear, knowing that they get to go to the CVAL College Championship.
Yeah, and we are going to head into Agent Select. Assuming that both these teams are playing what they did last time, this might be our only map where we actually get mirror matches for these two teams. It is usually the Jet, Reyna, Sova, Viper, Killjoy, and it seems like that's the name of the game.
Wow. All right, full mirror. Look into it, and what do you see? Yourself.
Well, and it's interesting too. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Fisher running this comp makes like a large degree of sense. This is a collegiate classic for Icebox, right? And with it just now coming back into the pool, a lot of collegiate teams are going to fall onto what they feel pretty comfortable with. Winthrop still running this composition is a little bit more surprising to me. Not that it's like not a viable comp, but at least thus far, they're really the only challengers level team that has opted to stake with this Reyna. You know, the other couple of times that Icebox has been played in the recent split of challengers, nobody other than Winthrop is choosing to do this Reyna fight, old school, we're just gonna run at him kind of comp.
Yeah, we're ready to aura farm. That's what Winthrop wants to do.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, it's game time, though. Time to see what players are made of. It's Winthrop University on the attack, Fish and Navy. Rather, Winthrop University on defense, Fish and Navy on attack. It's going to be championship point here for Winthrop University. If they can win Icebox, they win it all.
Pretty slow thus far from Winthrop. They're just pretty content. Already, actually, all the way out in yellow. Winthrop, Fisher, I'm gonna fight on the other side of the map.
Picking up some noise. Moves. They try and go and fight it back. Flare just goes in for it. Sogo has the trade. Moves still trying to make their decisions on where they want to go. Heard blast, right? You hear the zip wire. May have even heard them jump onto the high ground. Plays the timing perfectly. Gets the full overheal from the Devour. Now blinded by the Leer, but they're seeing the spike being planted at the feet. Wynn's going to be the one to do that here, but it's the numbers advantage for Winthrop University. Let's run it down, make sure they can't get away with their life. And you maybe even have them here. Oh my god, Sogo! Wow. You may be doing fancy footwork there, buddy! What wins? Double kill! I don't know how much bullets Moves has left to work with here. It's going to have to be one shot or nothing. It's two. Ooh. Does it up in the chamber. Making sure that Winthrop University wins the round.
Nicely done by Moves there. I'm a little bit surprised that Moves was able to catch a second player off guard there. The other Reyna not being able to look toward Moves. I mean, that should have been calmed by Blast, surely, right? Hey, one stare, Reyna stares. But not so much the case. Another pistol for Winthrop. There was a stat that we pulled up going into the last time these two teams played. At least before then, Winthrop had a 70% pistol win rate throughout all of CVAL. Now that's inflated a little bit just because, you know, they've been winning a lot. But those pistols are still something that they've proven very good at, and it gets them leads like this.
Winthrop University just staying winning. And Infiltrator lives up to their name. Sneaks by the recon bolt, destroyed. Thanks to Nasi. Now we're gonna see how far forward they can continue to push into this. Oh, that's just perfect. You're timing it just right, and then you get everything else from that. The thing that's scary here, though, is Infiltrator has 13 HP. They gotta go. And they do. They get out. But how much more do they want to play around with? It's Oko by themselves, a couple of jump peaks here and there, but you do not want to lose this Bulldog. You do not want to lose any more weapons. You don't want to let Sogo do things like that. And they don't.
Yeah, not bad from Sogo. Ultimately, though, the Bulldog is recovered. The good guns picked back up, so Winthrop should still have a pretty good bonus here. And those are the sorts of plays that last time Winthrop were on defense of this map, I didn't feel like the coordination, that the utility investment was all there. But at least in that anti-eco, it looked pretty good. Now, of course, they were just going up against pistols, so it's a little bit easier to make those plays happen. But also, it's a little bit more risky, because if you do die and it all goes wrong, you give guns over. So Winthrop, early on at least, showing pretty well. And Fisher actually bought a little bit into that round too, so they don't actually get a full gun round here.
Oh my gosh. And what makes, but it doesn't matter though, if Cuz can use the Marshall like that. And Moves thought they were safe inside of the Leer. Sogo disrespecting any form of blindness that were coming their way. And Winthrop University already looking worse for wear, and we're not even 45 seconds into the round. We're not even 30 seconds into the round.
Those are the sorts of plays that Winthrop got caught on a lot the last time these two teams faced off against each other. And Ali, even hard clearing for information, just runs into a massive stack. Fisher, I'm a little bit surprised that they don't go faster off that pick. But I guess they're worried that someone is going to be teed up in a small angle. They're waiting for the recon dart. Nasi good for one, but loses his rifle up top, and I don't think Flair's going to get much more done here. Good for one, that's not bad, but again, it wasn't even a full buy from Fisher Navy, so damage doesn't even truly matter.
No, it doesn't. This was everything that Fisher Navy needed. Winthrop University maybe playing a bit of the overconfidence game, thinking they had the advantage in firepower, sends themselves up for massive failure. I mean, Infiltrator falling to Cuz's Marshall of all things was not what you needed. And then just compounding mistakes here and there might be able to get an understanding of what cost Winthrop University the last time these two teams went head-to-head on Icebox.
And Winthrop, they're just running it back. Empress pushed in everything. Moobs is lucky that his team had his back there because Cuz was in the position, and he's not lucky for long. Cuz circles back around and is good for another. Jets trading out each other's Reynas, but it's Infiltrator who wins the Jet head-to-head. That's what Winthrop have needed. A little bit more
Sweet
decisive
Jesus.
gunfights.
Good Lord Almighty. Is Flare gonna have the recognition? Yeah, they do. They're gonna make sure that they clear this corner.
Nice.
But Momiji's gonna clear Flare's head off right from their shoulder. But they still had to go and pick up the spike, right? They still had to go through Blast, and Infiltrator's playing at jail. He didn't look in that direction. Infiltrator needs one more for an ace. You're not gonna risk these kind of angles and these kind of avenues to make that happen, right? Especially if Momiji, by themselves, looking for the ones, they just play away from it, play around the spike.
I mean, there's 45 seconds here, plenty of time for Momiji to try and play around, maybe find a pick and then go for something. But I think ultimately it's going to be looking for one more player trying to deal some damage and then saving this rifle. That's the name of the game for Momiji. It's still early days. These saves, even just one gun is super important.
Yeah, Momiji is trying to make sure everything's clear around them so they can hold on to this gun and maybe even take someone down too. Play for the exit frags. Play for picks. Play for somebody. Play for anything here. With time starting to run out, Winthrop University is going to start getting mobilized. Nasi is going to be the one to really start pushing out in different directions. Ali making a lot of noise, but it's not towards Momiji where they could be hiding. Infiltrator really setting this round back up for Winthrop University to win.
Yeah. Really huge trades there from Infiltrator. And I mean, it's Icebox. We're going to go A 90% of these rounds, and whoever wins the early A fight is going to be the one winning a lot of the time. That's just how Icebox works. Always has. Infiltrator already with the Blade Storm too, which is great considering that Winthrop are still, you know, just kind of starting to build their economy. So even if they lose this round here, that economic buffer is going to assist. Infiltrator's going to go down tube this round? That's a bit bold.
And Nasi's going to see the recon bolt fly over their head. Get rid of the Leer.
Ooh.
Finally for moves. Right, that works out for them. And Infiltrator even gets rid of Momiji. Nasi swings for the fences, holds down for the spray, looks up to the heavens where they're sending blast. Winthrop University, record pace for this round.
Love that change in positioning from Winthrop over toward A. It's always been Moobs going first and breaking that recon target, but instead he holds the long angle because when Infiltrator's not there, and Nazi is the one going forward, breaks the recon dart, baits like there's going to be players further forward than there are, so Fisher over-invest, and they try to swing 4 players playing around Orb, but they don't realize what angle Moobs is holding, and Nazi up close and personal using the Leer from his buddy Moobs to get just a nasty swing.
We're hearing a Blade Storm for Fisher Navy College, cuz you need to make that investment here. Fisher Navy, I think, starting to realize that they aren't putting as many players up as far as they used to. But guys, just hanging on in the air. Moves gets to pick them out of the sky for free. A couple more Leers off the back end from that. As utilities start being dumped in on the side of Winthrop University. Swarm Grenade eating them alive. Nasi and Flare occupying the scoreboard. Winthrop University gets 2 flawless rounds in a row.
I love this bait and switch from Winthrop. I mean, they spend the first 3 or 4 rounds playing like they did the last time these two teams went up against each other. They're going forward. They're playing all the way under, man, what's that? All the way under, like, tube and stuff, right? Pushing forward, getting aggressive. But now, in these last couple of rounds, they're just playing a little ratty. You know, Moobs is hiding up top, sight on heaven. I mean, that's nasty. Finds the perfect timing onto Cuz. And switching this up, going back and forth, forces Fisher away from A. They've lost it too many times now. They have to explore the other regions of the map. Oh, that's tough too.
Infiltrator breaking the neck of Blast.
And Blast not getting, or Infiltrator not getting heard there is crazy.
Yeah,
Now
and
the turret's down too.
And they're still trying to take fights against Infiltrator. He may not be ready for the player set up on top of crates, and indeed they weren't, but this is where some of the difficulties start compounding on top of themselves.
Right.
As long as Momiji isolates the ones, however, It's just Winthrop University giving it away where they had the lead and the advantage. And it may be another one here. Ooh, saw the tip of the barrel. Ali gonna stake by the corner, but they missed. At least it stops Momiji from running into them. But now inside of Tube, Momiji's playing there. He just plant the spike on B.
And he finds the timing through the window too. Momiji has been so pivotal this round. He's even looking for the ace here. I don't think Nazi's going to expect him to swing out this.
I don't think so either. And Nazi's just going to push forward further away towards Snowman. Look at all of these players. Look at the amount of time that Winthrop University has to win with. Not even close enough either.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be a save here. That was going to be the plan always.
Yeah.
Nazi was just fishing to see if he could catch anybody. Not really paying attention. But you could tell Moves, I mean, was just always looking right here. What an insane off angle from Momiji. He never looked that direction. He's playing out on the ledge. Only the left foot pinky toe actually staying in the window. Just egregious. Nice little pivot there from Fisher Navy. And Winthrop showing a little bit too much, I think. I don't love the pushes from Infiltrator and Flare. You know, very isolated, very solo. I would have liked it more if Infiltrator was committing to the fight against Momiji as Flare was already pushed up. If they went a little bit faster on that play, were a bit more decisive with it, I think it could have had some more success. But just going one at a time into mid, Momiji picks them off.
Yep. Infiltrator posted up on the high ground with the operator, flushed out by the owl drone. Looks for another reposition. That's crazy. Right? And you may have lost your Viper, but the Poison Orb stayed up long enough to cover Infiltrator's escape. They may be even able to double dip for another one. Yeah, there it is. Right? Leave us up, operator. Put in the Blade Storm. Try to go for the high ground. Cuz is going to get rid of them, but traded out by Nazi. Now there's just one more player left to go, and it's Blast. All the way on the other side of the map. No spike in hand.
Yeah, bit of a heat check there for Infiltrator. Popping the Blade Storm and going for a little bit too much. Moves to the Leer, though. That'll force Blast away. And now this is what I like. See, Flare and Moves playing in tandem, not taking this fight solo. So Blast doesn't really have a chance. And even if Flare doesn't hit that shot, Nazi was coming around to save the day anyways. Nicely done by Winthrop. A little bit more patient on that round.
Winthrop University, it's just speed bumps right now with the rounds they lose. Immediate recovery happens in the next one. You can really look towards Infiltrator and being that difference maker. But even when they fall, right, the rest of the squad is still popping off in ways of their own. They're still able to make sure the upkeep of the map is taken care of. Fisher Navy, they go A, doesn't work. They go B, it doesn't work. And the only thing that's happened is a hero player needs to rise to the occasion to make sure these rounds are won.
And Momiji's going to try and go for the lurk through Tube here. But Nazi's repositioned. Actually isn't looking for Tube. No one is 100% watching this. Flare does have the window. And that is just a Spectre. Momiji will run away and Moves waiting to assist as well.
They didn't see the barrel, but they hear the footsteps.
But yeah, they hear Momiji starting to leave. And I mean, you have such dominant control of this. Of course, Momiji is sort of just a bait right now. And with Win getting Nazi, things get a little bit difficult for Winthrop. They don't have enough information on the map to anticipate where these players are. Fisher Navy are going to try and come back to try and help Win, but that's so late. And they get cut off in the middle of the map, too.
They're going to play inside of attacker spawn before finally getting out of there. It's the double duelist. It's your Reyna. It's your Jet. If there's ever two players that need to win it, it's going to have to be them. The Cloudburst coming up just in time. That throws off the aim enough, but in an attempt to plant the spike, it costs them everything. Winthrop University, a dominant half that continues to get put more and more in the piggy bank.
And Winthrop, I mean, taking no prisoners, using the lockdown that round, not even 100% necessary, but just boot on the neck of Fisher Navy. Hey, no, you don't get to win this round. There is no clutch here. Even if you kill us, you won't have time. Great decision from Winthrop. I love how they are playing in tandem with each other. Even though that round got very chaotic, they all make a decision together. Hey, we're going to go clear B. That's the side we're worried about. We know Win is over there. We're going to try and deal with the Sova. They deal with him. They still have mid control while dealing with him too. Very nicely done. Now, I mean, this has to be a huge round for Fisher Navy. Timeout to make sure it happens. Look at the ults that they've got available. But to use, I mean, pretty much any of these ults, you need at least some positioning. They're, of course, going to go toward A, but Winthrop, you have to expect or anticipating that if they meet enough resistance, if Fisher Navy aren't able to win that first engagement, which they've been struggling to do so far on their attacking side, then even all the ults in the world won't matter because they'll just never get into the position to use them.
Exactly. Fisher Navy. It's so far for them a disastrous first half. They still have 3 more rounds to go to cobble up towards the 7-5. It all begins on the back of a couple stingers,
Here too.
a couple sheriffs. We know that Fisher Navy can get thrifty rounds, but Winthrop University so far in Icebox has been looking like a monster. Yeah, what's that crosshair?
Infiltrator's gonna duck the owl drone. What, this giant one?
Yeah.
It is rather. I don't think I've seen moves use that crosshair before. Maybe he shouldn't be using it either because he gets a little bit waxed. Deals some good damage though. I mean, look how low all the Fisher Navy players are. They do have a little bit of timing here. I mean,
Run.
did they recover rifles? Lockdown? But it's a lockdown fake. They're running away.
That's crazy, right? And then you just push up, get rid of it here. Again, we're talking about how low these players are. Blast does get the operator.
Hunter's Fury though.
Exactly, right?
Can Nazi get over there in time? No, he's not quite in position. No, he is. He just barely gets there in time. That completely stalls off Win.
Yeah, thinking they're going to be in one direction, but that's all it's playing for here is stalling it out, giving an opportunity to get back
Spike
into
planted.
fighting position. That spike planted. And guess who else has a Hunter's Fury, right? Quinn does. Now you're playing off-site. You're playing with the Blast operator.
But
You can
Blast
use
is
all
so
of that
low.
recombo.
Blast has to win this first fight. Otherwise, he will crumble like a wet paper bag.
It's just one shot. It's just one shot. That's all they needed is both sides. Nasi! Win! Looking eyes on Spike. Not at the player killing them. Winthrop University weathers that storm. Just
Commendable
barely.
effort from Fisher. I mean, considering that was just a Stinger light armor round, they make it really dicey for Winthrop. But unfortunately, again, the damage is just too much. Blast isn't able to go up and try to assist at all. He's not able to take a more aggressive angle because he's just too low. That makes that Hunter's Fury from Fisher Navy pretty much worthless because there's no world where once that Hunter's Fury gets popped, Blast won't get overwhelmed. And yeah, the op is nice, but when you're fighting, when you want someone who can try and fight a 2v1, that's the last weapon you need. Now we have the op battle coming in too, because I believe this is the first time Fisher have had enough money to get him an op on the attacking side.
Yeesh, okay, it's toe to toe. Op
Taking
the op.
mid?
They're gonna even actually be able to do this too, right? Both operator bullets whizzing by each other, the tracers leaving a trail of carnage and destruction in their path, but no one falls from it. It's Flair though to grab the first blood onto Momiji. They may even want to try and keep pushing even further. Look at that though, Fisher Navy. A power player taken out.
Fisher are trying to rely though that Winthrop will re-clear mid for info, but Winthrop don't have to do that.
You just play turret.
They have a high-low stack here between Flair. Okay, now Flair has to back off. The timing on the rotate there a little bit unfortunate. Even still, yeah, this high-low stack is unbreakable. And with no pressure exerted anywhere else on the map, Winthrop never had to worry about clearing through mid.
And now they've even got the read correctly to go back towards B. There was no signs of life on A. These angles that Winthrop University has been holding are destruction. Oh, you are kidding me, Ali.
No.
Now you want to try and go in for another? Goes only gets one shot, one kill with the operator. That's all the investment is going to be able to pay off for.
And this might just be the most dominant half we have seen thus far, not just this series, but between these two teams across the now 6 maps we've seen in the last couple of weeks between these two teams playing each other. Fisher Navy with one more chance here. A Blade Storm to buffer the eco, but mostly Guardians, only one real rifle in Momiji's hands. And still a Viper's Pit lurking. Ali, if he gets pressured enough, he can just lay that down or even save it for a retake. Cuz has to win this early fight. He's got to find something, and Moves picks him out of the air.
Momiji, that's where they come in to save the day.
Whoa!
Win! And a double kill. Hunter's Fury has just kicked the door wide open for Fisher Navy to come back with a 9-3 first half.
All right, Fisher, it took them a while, but looks like they finally put on their winter clothes. They're a little bit more ready for Icebox, but is it too little? Is it too late? A 9-3 half is very difficult. We've already talked about how good Winthrop have been on pistols. Fisher, I mean, if you don't get this pistol, it's pretty much cooked.
And then Winthrop moves to the 11th. And then all that separates them and a CVAL College Championship ticket is 2 rounds after that. Those are not the kind of odds that you want to be for Fisher Navy to try and gulf that deficit. So it all begins here and now.
You're playing defense now,
yeah.
Right? I mean, traditionally, you would think defense a little bit more tricky with this composition.
Wow. Massive fight in mid, too. And when I say massive, it's all of Fisher Navy pushing into Ali and leaving A with a dearth of players here. I don't think Ali was expecting how many they were going to try and take that fight with, hence the wide swing. But with that numbers being given away and Nasi landing those killing blows and the way that they have been, Fisher Navy has to fight back in the 3v3. So it's still back and forth, right? It still moves, though. Remember what they did in the first pistol half on Icebox.
And I mean, one of these teams has a Reyna, the other one doesn't on a pistol. That can make the difference. Shuts it down. But it's a 2v2 now. And the time is running low.
Wait a minute. All right. Player lands their first shot. But the spike's still ticking away. All they need to do is get one more. Quinn, though, taken down. Cuz holding it to the half. Both teams, Razor's Edge. But it's Flair to clutch it up for Winthrop University.
Flair has one of the highest clutch rates of all players in CVAL. It was over 21% at the beginning of their last series, and then he had so many clutches there. No surprise that he is able to hold his nerve. He will always call your bluff on tapping the spike. He didn't even flinch when when Cuz and Win were trying to bait him out. He knows what the enemy team wants to do when the time is running low and their backs are against the wall. And now Fisher, I mean, they're just going to be desperately buying as long as they can stay in this series, but Guardian on the other side. Not a bad shot from Blast. Ali's not having too much fun in mid these early rounds, it seems, but how are you ever going to hold this line?
Yeah, not at all. I don't even know what weapon Ali was working with either, so I'm imagining that it may not be too much for Winthrop University to worry about losing.
That's
man,
nice.
Infiltrator going down. Fisher Navy finds themselves a silver lining that they may be able to go up against with. Moves is haunting down Momiji. And this is the kind of flavors that we need from this squad. Well, Momiji's down to the 1v2. They got the Spectre. Nasi barely has any HP. And they're going to be met inside of mid to get an upgrade to the Phantom. Or maybe not. Flair.
It's huge here. I don't think Momiji wants to go for it. It would give too much information. Whoa, this is gonna take some time, Momiji. And Flair, I mean, moving all the way out into the defender spawn is actually confident now. Hey, I think he left.
Yeah.
Where's the spike planted? Did Flair plant in a place where heaven is good? I mean, now you know. Momiji, there's no way he gets this.
Get the swarm grenade. Flair's not playing anything crazy
Whoa!
here.
He's got it.
He's got just enough time. Just enough time for Fisher Navy. Less than a second.
I'm sorry, I didn't believe Momiji. That was very nicely done. Of all players, I thought Flair for sure, again in the clutch, just like he did last time, would be able to hold his nerve, but Momiji, nicely done. I mean, breaking every bit of util necessary, getting rid of the alarm bot before it could ping the vulnerability, getting rid of the nano swarm so that you can stick the spike, and then just those relentless taps. Flair has to swing eventually as the time was getting low. Nicely done by Momiji, keeping Fisher some chances, but it's still a long way to go.
Long way to go. Long opportunity, Sogo. Pushed up. Has to get the headshot. Dismiss. I see at least gets something. How much more can they keep going along with? All right, but clear your corners, people. Oh my God. Moves next level, dismisses, tries to draw away the attention, but it's Momiji, the hero of the last round, looking to don the cape yet again. Manipulate the tactics, go over to the high ground. Player caught unawares, back down on the ground. Numbers in Fisher Navy's side puts him into the 5th round 1.
Blast gets the last kill, but make no mistake, that is another round that Momiji wins for Fisher Navy. The fact that he's able to take down moves and then so quickly snakebite, reposition, get on top site. I mean, there's no way that Winthrop were expecting him to be there so quickly, making basically no noise as well. Momiji has really decided he does not want to lose the series here, but is his willpower strong enough? I'm gonna keep saying it. There's just still so far to go. It's still a 5-round deficit for Fisher Navy, and So goes in such a bold spot. He gets spotted by the Owl Drone too. Or does he? Wait, no, he didn't. Hello?
I don't think they
Infiltrator?
do. Wait, what? How did no one see them there? The problem is, too, right? You're losing out on another player, so you try to go into a different direction.
That's the spam.
Yeah.
Seeing where the Lear came from, I mean, what a shot from Ali. Unfortunately, he's shut down and the spike is revealed. This is a tough angle. Cuz will be good for another one, but eventually Winthrop forced their way in.
2 more rounds to go. Fisher Navy, right? These ultimates they have, the Blade Storm and Empress, the Viper's Pit, not the best of utility in the world, or not the best of ultimates in the world to win a round with. Better than nothing, especially when you look at the state of that economy. That's just gonna buy up the full shields, play for the Blade Storm. They're gonna have to be playing for big wins here. Otherwise, Winthrop University is looking at match championship points.
Empress out too. Winthrop, they want this to be the round. It's just a classic for poor Win, dude. Dude, you don't need to do that. He's harmless. He's just got a little classic.
He's just a baby. No way. Winthrop's out for blood. They smell it in the water. Now it's just time to keep pushing forward. Yeah, oh my gosh, Infiltrator. Okay. Again, Cuz just gonna straight up hit the right click. Play for big wins, play for big. Yes. Moves, double kill. Comes back over on the other side. Reminder, they're in the Empress. They're gonna go for even more, but it's this classic from Cuz. Give me a break. Player snuck up all the way on the other side.
Only 2 bullets.
They're gonna go in.
It's all
They've been
on
heard. No way. No way do they miss these shots. I am drawn. I am thrown into another world by the willpower of Fisher Navy and a classic dream.
That's just insane. That just shouldn't happen.
It doesn't happen, right?
It doesn't happen. It just
doesn't happen.
shouldn't happen. Okay, well, I guess it did happen. Woof. Okay. Winthrop, they smelled blood in the water. They didn't realize that it was their own, I guess.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. I mean, what a play there from Cuz. Getting such a critical pick with a classic at range versus a rifle. Then the rifles are recovered. I mean, absolutely nuts. And honestly, Winthrop, it's still pretty early on their attacking side, all things considered, but they've been struggling more toward A than one would expect, considering how few players Fisher actually leave here generally. I mean, even right now, there's only 2.
Here.
Oh, nice angle from moves. That should give them a spike plan.
Okay, time to get on the site. Use the lockdown.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Infiltrator's not messing around anymore. They may be walking all over the snakebite. They may be vulnerable, but they are nonetheless as deadly as can be. Player's gonna get the spike planted for the post plant. Set it up with all of the utility in the world. Play off site, but are you looking for who's behind you?
Ali taking contact here is a little bit risky too. He's the one with the rifle. Last gonna use the nanoswarms, force him out of that corner.
Yep. Flare falls too, right? Sogo's accomplished the lurk. And they're inside of the Empress. They're keeping this interesting.
Nice.
It's a 1v3. Sogo's the Reyna, but Sogo's been seen. Oh, Infiltrator. You can't miss those, buddy. You can't let that happen. You can't let those shots be whiffed.
There's no
now
time
this gives Sogo an operator. Yeah. Operator, right? It gives him an opportunity.
Dude, not the back-to-back thrifties, man. What? I can't handle it with these teams. Just stop buying guns.
Yeah, what's the point of guns?
Take that rifle, throw it away, Infiltrator. Just use the Blade Storm.
What's the point of guns, Plausible? Who needs them?
It's
Snooze
match
fest.
point now, too. Fisher Navy, can they even piece together a buy? I mean, considering that, they got a Thrifty, helps the economy, but then they got re-thriftied? I don't know, man. I don't think their economy is going to be too good.
I don't think so either. Not
This
what
is
you want.
match series championship point.
This is
for
everything.
Winthrop.
It's all on the line, and it's already falling to pieces. Nothing that can be done to stop Winthrop University. I hope as it all turns into nightmares. Winthrop University ready to put this to bed. The one last player left to put it all on the line is Blast. But once you get rid of them, Winthrop University is punching their ticket as they are your NECC CVAL Spring 2025 Grand Champions.
Winthrop make their way confidently into the college championship at CVAL. They will absolutely be going. Make no mistake, Fisher will probably get seeded in too. But Winthrop have to be happy with the revenge, the re-revenge, I should say, that they got against Fisher. I mean, they wanted to be the upper bracket team, but they didn't need it, evidently. 3-0, even flipping the 2 maps that they lost last time as a statement. If nothing else, a phenomenal series from Winthrop. Haven was back and forth and back and forth and back and forth all over. But since Haven, it's been Winthrop in the driver's seat. There were some curves downward, a couple of valleys where Fisher fought back valiantly. But overall, Winthrop, #1. That's what we expected to see here.
Absolutely. And this is what we were talking about for Fisher Navy on Icebox. It was just players that they won rounds, but it never really felt like it was off the back of teamwork or the util use. It was just one player that really needed to pop off to elevate the rest of them to the round win. Whereas Winthrop on the flip side felt like they were in sync, they were coordinated, they were ready, they were decisive, they won 2 maps. And as the series progressed, right, it went from 17-15, 13-9, now to the results of Icebox where, it was just phenomenal. A 13-6 score line at the end of the day. And I think the stat lines too, once we take a look at those, really just going to unfold how Winthrop University was playing out of their mind.
I mean, this is what you want if you are going to be playing the Jet Reyna composition. You want your Jet and your Reyna to be popping off on the day. Moobs, Infiltrator coming to life on Icebox. They both had fairly good series before, but even then, Nazi too. Nazi having an insane Lotus and still technically, I didn't get the highest ACS, but the most kills in the lobby. Absolutely nuts across the board from Winthrop. Unsurprisingly, we know that every single one of these guys can pop off on the day. And Fisher Navy as well. Momiji, I think, had some valiant rounds to keep Fisher Navy close at times with Winthrop on this last match, but it was just too far of a deficit to fall into in that first half, and there was no way to climb back out of it.
No, there really wasn't. So a big, massive congratulations to Winthrop University, your grand champions here at NECC CVAL. Like we said before, this is big for them. They get to go with a smile on their face into the CVAL College Championship. No need to be invited when you're winning it all. And of course, I'm sure we're going to be seeing Fisher Navy. They played a phenomenal game of Valorant today. They are a top tier team for sure. I'm really excited, possible, to see how these two teams are going to do once they reach into that CVAL College Championship.
Yeah, maybe we even get another rematch between the two of them in that big old bracket, right? Fisher Navy, I think you can tell that the rematch factor is so important between these two teams because that time off to study, to go, hey, here's what we did wrong, here's what we need to do next time, is so advantageous. In the last series these two played, it was Fisher who were able to swing back the maps they lost versus Winthrop. This time around, Winthrop had the time, they had the footage, they were able to make those adjustments in between the 2 weeks they had off. And CVAL championships are starting lickety split here. You get 1 week, and that's not even really a week off for Winthrop. They still got challengers to play in too. So you better stay hot, you better stay informed, because there is plenty more collegiate action around the corner. But I believe that does it for us here today, Sam.
That it does, Plausible, that it does. Before I let everyone go, though, I do want to remind everyone about one of our phenomenal sponsors, that being none other than Winzel's Farm. We do want to let everyone know that fuel your game with Winzel's Farm Snack Sticks. No mess, no distractions, just bold, protein-packed flavor to keep you locked in. Whether you're grinding ranked or leading the squad, Winzel's keeps you powered up. Grab a stick, stay in the game, crush the competition. Winzel's Farm, fuel for gamers, flavor for champions. We also want to say a big thank you to our behind-the-scenes production staff for making everything look and sound as good as it did. That being Kai, Reached At, and Ulysses. Great observing work, great production work. Always love them to death. And hey, Pausable, it's been great hanging out here today with you, buddy. Big thank you to all of you out there as well for watching. Make sure you hit that follow button. I know we're on the NECC2 channel, but NECC_esports rated us into that, so make sure to go check that out. Leave them a follow. There's still more exciting NECC action that's going to be happening and unfolding over the weeks, including the LAN event happening very shortly in San Antonio. So you should come and check that out. Oh, yeah, no, right, Paul? I just drop that real quick. Little spicy take, a little spicy something to leave behind for everybody. But until the next stream, everyone, we'll see all of you then.
What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. You just... What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean you won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there.